I won't put his name out because I'm sure you could find mad people with this name, but his name was Big Mike. So that should have probably been. That probably should. Why did you even respond to that? That probably should have been red flag number 1.
And if you ain't fucking with this podcast, then you're just a bitch ass trick.
I got my Jesus sandals on.
I like to look like one of them niggas that go to museums and read art.
Goes to what?
Museums and read art, but I don't.
Read art.
Yeah. Art has captions on it. What are you talking about?
Hey, we're gonna start. We're gonna start it from here.
Y'all don't read art.
I don't. I mean, technically, like books are art and stuff, but he was talking about.
I said go to, bruh.
He was talking about paintings and.
If you're in the museum, it literally has a description of the.
But that's not what you meant, bro.
It is
I get
exactly
you trying
what I
to.
He's trying
do
to
the
save
typical
face.
Phil thing and die on a hill and ride the train till it crashes, but that's not what you meant.
I read art like that's how you read art.
You don't read art. Phil.
Every time I've gone to a museum, I sit there and I stare at the picture and then I read about the picture. That's how it took me when I was in the Black History Museum.
But that's also not reading art. That's reading the caption.
Attached to the art, and it's all together, so that's art.
That's like me going on Instagram and saying I'm reading pictures.
You are, technically.
No, I'm not. I'm looking at pictures.
No,
he's trying to die. He's just trying.
Because even
Phil's doing the Phil thing.
Even the comment is a picture. If we keeping it above.
I also rarely read captions.
The comment is a
Phil,
picture.
You're just trying to be fake profound, bro.
I'm not.
You're just trying to be fake deep.
I'm not. But you read art, fam, and I'm sticking to it.
Wrong
again.
It's not a hill that.
Ain't no man behind, but you leave Phil ass.
For sure.
I need to pull up the.
This nigga will be like, I'm coming to save you, Phil. No. You're totally fine. No.
So there's no way you can read art. So what do you do to
if
it?
the art
if the art is
words,
written, if it's poems, if it's poetry, if it's like books, if it's like literature.
You can interpret something from it.
So
music, that's a good one, Tatiana. You can read music.
You can't read art
an image,
in a museum.
An image, or unless there's a video and there's what is that?
Look up.
Subtitles on it.
No, because what I said is I look like one of them niggas that go to the museum and read art. So you can't.
Right,
so
I heard
what
what
I'm
you said.
asking y'all is you can't read art in a museum because that's what y'all saying. That's all I'm asking.
That's not what we're saying. Yeah, that's it. I'm not gonna get into this. I'm not going back and forth with you, bro.
Look up what the definition of read means. You got glasses on. You look smart.
That's what he said. He just wants to look smart. He don't really want to be it.
No, I asked a very straightforward question.
He got 20/20 vision, but he just got glasses on.
And we said yes, but bro, that's not what you meant when the words initially came out of your mouth.
And it depends on what the art is that you're seeing in the museum. If there's like if it's literature.
No, you don't know what I meant. All I said was I look like one of them niggas that go to the museum and read art. That's all I said, and y'all interpret it how y'all want to interpret it.
All right.
But everybody interpreted the same thing.
I'm not going back and forth with you, bro.
That doesn't mean anything, bro. But I never said.
Whoa. So my interpretation of things don't mean anything? So my thoughts don't count? Wow, they don't matter. Thanks. Good to know, Phil.
To look and comprehend the meaning of written or printed matter. It doesn't say it has to be written. It's just printed matter.
Not all art is
printed.
printed.
You just said it said written.
Written or printed matter. So or.
Do you know what print is?
Yeah, you print out a page. That's print. You print out a picture. That's a print. That's printed matter.
A lot of times, art is not like a printed piece of paper. It's either like a projection.
No, but print is like writing.
No,
there's script.
Y'all really
there's
going
script.
back and forth.
I said 4 times and I go back and forth with him, but I keep going back. There's script. Script is like cursive and that kind of writing. And then there's print, and print is just writing.
Welcome back to another episode of Saving for the Pod, episode number 27. Here with the boys Phil, Brandon, and AJ. Huh?
Yeah.
We were supposed to have
who's a famous number 27?
Eddie George.
Eddie, that's the first one I thought. Eddie George. Who else?
Who's
in the league? That's 27.
Ray Rice, 27.
Who's in the NBA
Murray.
league? Yeah,
Jamal Murray.
that's Murray. Jamal Murray. I'm pretty sure he's 27.
Yeah.
Who else was this famous 27?
Ray Rice, Jamal Murray.
You can't
Eddie
say
George.
Ray Rice, bro. What are you doing? Take that back.
I take it back.
27 is like my favorite number too.
You gotta beat that out.
It
Your
was growing up.
favorite number.
Yeah, it's weird, right?
Yeah. Anyways, how y'all feeling this week?
Feeling relaxed. I had a very stressful work week, so I'm feeling pretty good.
Why is that?
Work's just been busy, bro. Like, Just busy. Lots of tasks. Not enough time in the day.
How do you cope
up.
with stress?
I'm gonna pull up Brandon Marshall. How's everyone's mental health doing? Everyone doing good mentally?
I'm at we're doing out of 10.
Sure.
And what? Because they break it down like in business, in your life.
Just mentally, how you feeling?
I'm like 9.
Okay.
I'm good. I'm chilling.
Okay.
I'm at a.
Oh dear.
I'm at like a 7.
Okay.
I usually just float around a 7. I'm never too
That's
high,
what
too
your
low.
that's what your normal you think is.
I thought you would have a higher number.
Mentally, nah.
Nah, because he finds the positive and the negative and the
That's
negative
true.
and positive.
You
I think
should have been a
7 is
5.
like,
Boom.
no, I think 7 is like, I'm more happy than I'm
It's
down.
above average. It's like 70%.
Yeah. I mean, that's true, but I still thought you would have been like 8 or 9. Because I feel like I'm a 8 or 9.
I mean, yeah, but it's weird. If you ask me like a week or two in advance, I'll probably be higher. But this one's kind of weird because Mother's Day is coming up, and it's like the first Mother's Day without my granny. Then like my mom went back home, so I know she gonna be like they're going to visit the grave. So it's just like a nice, but it's like a sad weekend.
Yeah.
So it's like I haven't even addressed that stuff yet. So like once that gets to me, I'll probably get down to like a 6.5, 6,
Yeah.
because I don't like thinking about that stuff.
Is that your mom calling you right now?
Yeah, she.
Yeah, that's
Damn,
crazy.
that's
Pick it up.
crazy.
Pick it up.
She could sense.
Hey, what's up?
What up, mom?
You live on the podcast.
You live on the podcast right now.
Better closer to
Phil was just talking about you. We were asking Phil how he feels mentally on a scale of 1 to 10. He said 7. And then Mother's Day got brought up, and he was just talking about you. So,
I am so sorry. I'm driving in the car
Mm-hmm.
because I just came from the airport and I didn't hear what you said.
so I was saying that Phil was just talking about you. He brought up Mother's Day, and you called him as he was talking about you. So it's crazy that you called him.
Oh, wow. Okay. Make sure you guys share it with me so I can listen to it.
All right, we'll do.
All right.
We'll do.
Okay. You guys have a good week, huh?
I'll talk to you later.
Okay, babe. Love you.
All right, love you too. That's it. Yeah, so she got, ears be itching. I think that's what the old saying.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah,
so
something
wait,
like that.
you talk to mom now. Are you not at 8?
Yeah, I'm like a 7.5.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
A little boost. Just that easy.
yeah, for sure. But I mean, yeah, it's a good weekend because I got training this weekend. We gonna run on the beach this weekend, so I'll be straight. It's just that, like I said, long work week, bro.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Brandon, what about you?
I'm probably like a 5.5.
5.5?
5.5.
Yeah.
All right. Where's your normal? What do you think you're normally at?
Well, I'm normally at probably like 7,
Yeah.
7, 8 in that area.
But you've been having such a good week. It was oh shit. So why are you
such a good
why are
You were having.
Yeah.
why are you at a 5.5, my G?
It's just a lot of different things. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? I mean, Doge is
Yeah.
up, so it's happy.
the
Work's
moon.
been good and all that.
Yeah.
But my uncle passed this morning, so
shit.
I'm sorry to hear
that
that.
was
Yeah, I'm
that's
sorry to
why.
hear
And then
that,
it's
bro.
like my mom's brother, so it's like Mother's Day
Yeah.
is kind of like it's a cloud,
Yeah.
like gloom. But we don't know it's sad, but like we realize that life is. It is what it is. You can't have life without death. So,
yeah.
it's sad, but like, then it's like, hey,
It's a part of it.
happens.
Yeah.
So stuff like that. So you really can't. You gotta play the game. It just happens.
Yeah. Well, we all here for one another. Whether we high, we low, we all support each other. And I love y'all boys.
I love you too, G.
I
Love
feel
y'all
like
too.
we should all hug it out right now.
I'm not giving
Let's
y'all
do
niggas no hugs.
Air hugs. But jumping into the topics. So starting off, Phil, you wanted to talk about, and you brought up this topic of,
Yo, Kobe
is
ate a snack already?
America a racist country?
Yeah. So it's been pretty popular, I guess, in the news right now, on like both political sides, and I just thought it was a stupid. Well, it's not a stupid question. I understand why the politician said that America's not a racist country, but in totality, I think we're still a racist country,
definitely
even though
still is,
there's
yeah.
a lot of opportunity here
Why do you think it's racist though?
because it's ingrained in our policies and in like pretty much all the major industries.
Yeah.
And not only that, it was built on racism.
Yeah.
It was built on oppression. It was built on the backs of black slaves.
Yeah.
And there still hasn't even been reparations for that. So until that happens, and until like there's a big like
He was fine.
correction or shift that way,
Even an acknowledgement.
an acknowledgement, yes, that and at all of it, like even with like police brutality, there's so much denial and the origins of the police, like that's never talked about. You only hear about it like in not by like word of mouth, but like peer to peer. Not like all right, we're owning our stuff. Like I feel like America never really owns their BS.
Yeah.
So which is like the epitome of racist people. They just they don't own up to. I mean, some do, but for the most part, it's smile on your face and something different, which is kind of what America at least feels like, you know, and then what it was built on. So until there's that recognition or that acceptance, what was it? That accountability or accepting accountability, then I think it'll always be that.
But I think even after that happens, it'll still be the case.
Yeah, but I think that is like it'll probably still be the case, but that for things to change and for America not to be a racist country, it has to first go through that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think you could say that any country that's kind of like a melting pot and has a diverse population has its racism ingrained in that culture.
For sure.
Like Europe, like a lot of the European countries, you could say Australia, like any country that you think of that has that melting pot, you could say that. And even countries that don't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I think that there's like in some places in Europe, and like there definitely is racism, and like maybe to the degree or maybe not to the degree that there is here, but I think everywhere there's prejudice, which is a little bit different than racism. Yeah. Like, and prejudice comes on, like, is basically prejudge before you know someone or know them. There's an idea of what you think there's in predominantly Asian countries that have never seen black people or just anyone else other than the people they know. There's always initial prejudice there.
Yeah.
So if you believe like the curse of Ham is the darker the skin, the more sin within. I think the whole world, it's not just America, is the issue. It's the whole world is very racist, and all of the teachings that it has taught us. You know what I'm saying? It's literally saying the darker you are, the more sin is within your body, more evil is inside of you. And you see like a lot of communities, they don't want to. They always associate like the tanner people in their population to be like peasants or farmers and stuff like that. So it's a global thing. It's a global phenomenon. Even if the Hispanic communities, they call some of their darker people negrita and stuff like that, like darkies and stuff. You know, it's a whole thing. It's not just America. America has like one of the most recent like atrocities committed to the people. So that's why America's always thrown up in America's face. But I believe the whole world is like that. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. A lot of the laws and stuff weren't made for us to be like as a person, so they don't actually pertain to us. And so, and they add amendments to it, but like, you know, it is what it is, you know. So I think it's a global phenomenon because wherever you go, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna have issues. Like if you're darker, like wherever you go, and they had like wasn't how you say it, Bartoli.
Balotelli.
The Italian
Mario Balotelli.
Balotelli, yeah.
I thought you were talking about the opposite.
He was like, his own fans were calling him monkeys and stuff, like throwing bananas at him, and he's playing for that country. So it's just like, yo, like if they're calling them monkeys over there, they do the same thing over here. So that's a global phenomenon.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? And then a lot of like the news and stuff like that is like, it's a lot of, I believe, to be propaganda, and all you see is like black people and they're committing crimes, especially here in America. I don't know about the UK or anything like that, but I just know what it is to be like in America. We're always looked up as like the bad person, and these tactics have been around for a long time, especially like with Native Americans. You know, they always painted them as a villain. Yeah. First, you get help from them to survive, and then all of a sudden they become a villain, like a savage that can't be saved. So it's just the same kind of like justified genocide kind of thing.
Right. But so what I understood from the question was the country, not necessarily people, because I think there's racist people everywhere.
Yeah.
But when a country is, when you're seeing if a country is racist, is there systemic racism and things in place that oppress? I've never lived in Italy, but I feel like there's not systemic racism where there is people's prejudice and personal racism to people different than them. The way there is. I mean, I don't know for sure because I've never lived there. But being that America has systemic racism and has profited off and become a first world country faster than any other country in the world because of slavery and racism is kind of what I was looking at or understanding from the question.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's still a long way to go. Like you said, acknowledging, having change made. There has been a lot of progress throughout the years, but again, it's a long way to go before I guess we can be seen as, or the country be seen as non-racist, and like the downfall or whatever you want to call it of systemic racism. But that's what I got. Phil, you got anything else?
No. I mean, like I said, even though there's a lot of opportunity here, still racist. You can have both. Yeah. For people that's like, oh, well, you can be a billionaire. Well, you can, but
but the thing is, like, the reason why people here have that opportunity is because what?
We built this shit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, when you're saying, like, you talk about the country, I don't mean, like, I try to oppose you, but it's like, you know, this is we the people. So, like, the people of America have to be racist in order for the systemic stuff to keep going on. You know what I'm saying? The people who are in power. You know what I'm saying? If you cut off, like, all the heads of the Hydra, and it's gone, you know what I'm saying? And it's, you know, I don't know, I always call these weird analogies, but, like, if you cut all the heads off of the bad things, and then that people who believe in that system don't exist anymore, you know, you allow for new people to be in there, and then those people probably not, if they're not having the same thoughts or same, like, ideology that these people are having, it can change. Like, even if the laws are not written for us, like, it's people who are in power who really control it, because it's a democracy. Yeah. It's not like a communist state.
It's part of that, and part of, like, it's that, and it's also like what you're saying. It's ingrained, and it's so hard to make legal changes or like changes to bills and amendments. Like, it takes months and years for a bill to be, from when a bill's proposed or changes are to be made or are suggested to when they actually happen. And over that time, there's a change in power between the parties. There's a bunch of stuff that can delay that and make it push back further, or just like, well, like, okay, like, this wasn't even our thing. We're not even going to handle this until we get our stuff done type thing. And that's, I think, a big reason why a lot of stuff doesn't get done.
Yeah.
Yup.
And why the systems stay in place.
Got you. But moving on. So something that I just found out this past week was that my boss, he was a Boy Scout, and his scout leader was the BTK killer. Bound, Torture, Kill. I don't know if y'all are familiar with him. I've heard of him. I'm not like super familiar with him, but again, I've heard about him like throughout the years. I was listening to another podcast, and they were like, "Oh yeah, this took place in Wichita, Kansas," and I'm like, "Yo, my boss is from Wichita. I wonder if he had heard of him." So I brought it up to him one day. He was like, "Yeah, I was super young when it happened. I was kind of like too young to really grasp or really remember anything up until this point." And I asked him like, "Oh, like, how were your parents about it?" They were like, they were super freaked out. But recently his mom was in town. He was spending time with them. And I guess the conversation me and him had sparked it. He sparked it up with his mom. And she was like, "Do you remember that he used to be your scout leader?" And like he said, he almost shit himself when he found that out. Like that is insane. So he
and he was the what killer? The what?
The BTK.
And what does it stand for?
Bind, torture, kill, or something like that.
And what do they teach you in Boy Scouts?
Oh shit! I didn't even put 2 and 2 together. I didn't do the maths.
He was square knotting people probably.
For real. So my boss was saying that like him being the scout leader was kind of like his alibi. Like they would go on camping trips, 2 a.m. in the morning, dip off, go kill, come back, and act like nothing happened.
Well, be weary of your boss.
Yeah.
Well, be weary of your boss.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real.
Does he watch the
grooming him.
No.
He was grooming him, you know what I'm saying?
Probably.
Does he sit at his desk just making random noises?
Nah, he doesn't. But that's just insane, and it made me think like,
how many? Okay, my fault. Go ahead.
Whoa, what were you gonna say?
How many like people like that have you interacted with and not
That's
even
exactly
know?
what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. But then I thought, because on the news you don't really hear about serial killers in this day and age, really.
It's not a lot of. It's harder to be a serial killer now.
Like, what's the last
unless you're a mass shooter.
What's the last serial killer that you could like the DC sniper? I kind of think of. That's the first thing that comes to mind, and that was years ago. That was like early 2000s, wasn't it? I think so.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was like.
But what was it? Was it the drugs in the 70s? I feel like the 70s is just 1 in 5 people was a serial killer.
Right.
Yeah, I feel like there's like everything's recorded now almost.
Yeah, that's
like
true.
you can back then you could move down 2 cities over and people wouldn't know.
That's
Like
true.
you could start a whole new family. Like
That
it's
is very true.
different times back then.
And DNA wasn't as prevalent as it is
Yeah,
now. So
DNA,
like,
yeah.
you can have DNA all over a crime scene back
Yeah.
then, and it's just like.
And they're like, the black guy did it.
Yeah.
But oh, yeah, true.
That's joking, but like not really.
Like you literally go kill somebody, drive 45 minutes to a town over, put on
Alibi.
a different pair of clothes, and then just go kill somebody else. Meet another person, hitchhiker, because
Yeah.
you know it's the 70s, and kill him too. And
Yeah.
people like, oh yeah, he's a cool guy.
Yeah, that's how it happened to like Jeffrey Dahmer. Jeffrey Dahmer caught one of the guys, and the guy escaped and ran into the cops and told them like what had happened, and they didn't believe him, and so they let the dude just go, and then Jeffrey caught him again.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's just like what, like, back then it was wild, wild west out here for serial
Yeah.
killers, but now it's like
What
but
do
you never know. People could be killing people and making it. There's actually a serial killer. They didn't really talk about her a lot. She was actually a nurse, and she was killing people in the hospital. So that's a serial killer.
That
and
is
she was
true.
doing it over years,
Yeah.
like
Yeah, that's a
killing
serial killer.
people. And that was more recent. I forgot her name, but you can look it up.
And she
find
was
it.
killing like older people, right?
Yeah, older people.
Yeah.
So it's like that's a serial killer.
I actually think I
Also,
heard about
people as technology advances, so does like we're catching them on camera. So that their tactics have to advance. They have to survive. They have to. So they maybe look like, oh, this man just died of old age or whatever, but they could be somebody killing them.
Yeah.
Like, oh, he had an instant heart attack. Like, there was no signs before.
Yeah, because
Like,
there's probably more access to information and like.
Yeah.
No, I mean I've watched a lot of movies and there's always like, oh, there's that one plant that you do
Yeah.
this and they'll pass out, no one will know.
And if you plan, so a lot of times like a lot of murders are happening like a heat of the moment, and like you get caught, you don't think about covering your tracks and all that. But like career criminals get away with it. A lot of career murderers, career criminals who murder people get away with it.
They
'Cause
precise.
They cover their tracks.
Yeah, and I feel
they're
like
very like they lack empathy and emotion, so they're very like. Maybe it's like a form of autism they have where they're like very precise with everything they do.
Meticulous?
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, very meticulous.
You gotta be no slip ups. They only get
I
caught
saw
when
that
they
hair.
slip
yeah, but I
up.
feel like maybe being like a serial killer with a signature isn't as popular anymore. And like serial killers are just like, I'm gonna kill people whichever way I can get away with it.
Well,
Because like with serial killers, I feel like the biggest thing was like, okay, we know it's this person because they keep doing it the same way. They're leaving
Yeah.
this kind of clue because there's like a game to them
Yeah,
almost.
because you have the bomber, the Unabomber. Didn't Jeffrey Dahmer kind of have like a signature? Obviously, the BTK killer, the
I just know
Golden
he
State.
he ate people.
Oh, I didn't know
Killed
that.
them and ate them.
Oh, actually, I did know that. But probably the craziest one to me is the Golden State Killer. Like he was. Are y'all familiar?
I'm not familiar with like any of the stuff other than watching Criminal Minds because my mom watches it. So-
I
So
usually
the-
watch a lot on Netflix.
The Golden State Killer, and Tatiana knows way more than me. But
yeah,
I
this
think
is her expertise. Like she's gonna be pissed. She's not on
Yeah.
this one.
I think the Golden State Killer, he would like tie up the husband and wife, put like plates on I think like the man's back would like rape the wife, and it was like if the plates or whatever made a sound, like he was gonna kill them both. Like that shit is, and I'm probably a little off on it, but that shit's nuts.
Let me ask you a question. Do you know the Muffin Man?
And no, I don't.
He lives
Who
on
lives
Drury
on
Lane.
Drury Lane? He was a serial killer.
Oh, really?
Was he really?
Yeah, that's a song about a serial killer.
I didn't know that.
I thought it was
Do
a
you
gingerbread
know?
man.
There was a warning for children. Do you know the Muffin Man? The Muffin Man.
I mean, I
the
know the
Muffin
song,
Man.
but
Do you know the Muffin Man who lives on Drury Lane? He would lure
That
kids
is a,
out.
I don't know
with
why
muffins.
like they did that for kids in songs. Like no kid is gonna understand what that means.
yeah, I thought
Like,
it was
like that. Oh, the Muffin Man. I'm trying to go see the
But
Muffin
they
Man.
probably told them, and it was a way of them remembering. Oh,
Yeah.
Drury Lane, because kids forget shit all the time. But if they hear it in a song and it's repetitive and it's repeating,
That sounds lit.
you
I
think,
like
oh,
muffins.
Right.
now you got to clean. Oh, I'm near Drury Lane. Let me be careful.
Yeah,
Let me
Right.
get out of here. But yeah, he would like lure kids out with muffins.
that's crazy.
But going back to what you said, there's no like I guess prestige in being a serial killer. I would say the new serial killers, but they're not. It's not serial. It would be
It's
mass
just
murderers.
Yeah.
mass
That's why all the
shootings.
prestige is now. So it's like
Yeah,
serial killing takes too much time. You got to plot when you can just go.
You can get caught easier because like
Yeah.
with everything is tracked. So if you're searching how to make a pipe bomb, how to do this, and like trying to find that information or checking stuff out of
They
a
got
library,
every
whatever.
database everywhere. Yeah, now
Yeah.
it's just like let me load up 100 rounds, 200-300 rounds, and just go shoot as many people as I can, and then just kill myself.
but I still feel like, because you said the prestige is being an act or a mass murder or whatever.
mass murder.
But still, when you think about like the
Or mass
biggest,
shooter.
mass shooter. When you think about the biggest serial killers, like I still feel like you have Columbine that people talk about a lot, but nobody knows the Columbine shooters' names.
But you remember the event,
That's true.
so the event. holds
But
weight
everyone
now.
knows Jeffrey Dahmer.
Everyone knows Columbine. Everyone knows Pulse.
Because what they
I think-
did,
I think
because
they-
what
they
did
purposely-
was so repulsive.
Yeah, I think they
That-
also purposely stopped trying to put their names out so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they get a high off that, and then
Because
they
we were
see
like,
copycat
There's
killers.
copycats. It's
Yeah.
like, all right, I'm trying to.
So they try to silence that. That's why they did it to play games. It was like
Yeah.
a game with the media. It was like an attention, the ultimate attention.
That's
You're on
true.
the news and stuff like that. But
News is everything back then.
yeah, but Jack the Ripper
One
was a
of 5
serial
channels.
killer.
Yeah.
Jack, I don't think
John Wayne Gacy.
I don't think he ever caught. They never caught Jack the Ripper. They never caught him, and he built like crazy like hotel rooms where he would like have like gas and
Yeah.
stuff, and like make them fall asleep. Like he'd lure people in there, and it was like a death trap. Like a whole hotel was just a death trap.
That's
Crazy stuff. I was like, there's a I think it was on Discovery Channel. I was watching, and it was like catching Jack the Ripper. And then one of the dudes was like, he's like maybe my like long lost like family, like uncle, great
Oh, really?
uncle. Yeah, he's trying to find this. if it was him,
Yeah.
it's crazy. And so they never caught him. I think he came to America, and like
Oh, where was he at?
London,
Oh, okay.
England. He was killing folks. Yeah, serial killers. It's not fascinating, but it's just like
I mean, Netflix
it's like
documentaries
wow,
are really
like,
good on it.
wow, these dudes really just was out here, just wanted to kill people. Like
Yeah. I strangely like watching all the Netflix documentaries about serial killers
Yeah.
because they put them together really well, and then it's not even mind blowing. It's more just like fascinating how easy it was to be a serial killer back then,
For real.
and then thinking like, oh damn, that shit would never fly today.
Bro, what was... Now I forget the name of it.
Jim
There
Jones?
was one documentary.
He wasn't a serial killer though. He was a mass murderer.
Kool-Aid.
Yeah, he was like a cult leader.
Yeah.
What was the one documentary on Netflix where it was about... And I might need to call Tatiana. It was about a family, and it was like a neighbor or something. He somehow seduced like the wife. He was raping their kids, and somehow seduced like the husband of the wife to like have sex with them. Have y'all seen this?
No.
I want to say.
What are
I
you
did see
watching?
that.
Bro, no, this was like a really good one. And it,
That's a really good
when you found out
I
that he
loved it.
got the husband to sleep with him or like suck his dick or some shit, I was like, yo, what kind of manipulative son of a bitch are you to be able to do that?
Was it extremely wicked, shockingly evil, and vile?
I can't remember.
Abducted in plain sight?
I think that's what it was. Abducted in plain sight. I think that's what it was. Let me see.
Is abducted from a small church community in Idaho?
Nah, it sounds
I
like.
think that was it.
Oh,
That's
really?
wild.
Yeah, I think
I
that
think I
was
seen
it.
that.
It sounds like it happened in Idaho. They're probably just bored out there.
Bro, they always have it in the most whitest.
And the weird, the weird, like the.
Everything
But
always.
there's not a lot of
Boondock
people. They don't
States, yeah.
want a lot of attention. A lot of people to see you. Like you can go commit a crime and then just walk away from it. But like if you do that in Miami, everybody, oh man, the weekend in the alley. Like there's people
Somebody
walking
gonna see
everywhere.
you,
Somebody
yeah.
gonna see you. So they do it in like a lot of like just remote areas. Like what I'm saying, where they can
Yeah.
just get you
Where
and
the
you just
mountains.
disappear.
Where the mountains at?
Yeah. But there's one thing I want to talk about. Like we brought up the songs that they used to sing, the Warren Kids and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Like even like London Bridges, like falling down.
Yeah.
It's about the plague. I guess
Was it?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
about the plague.
Huh.
Ring around the rosies,
That-
pocket full of posies, ashes, burning the bodies, ashes. We all fall dead. Everybody dies.
But that's not London Bridge, is
All them
it?
composers are
London
sick.
Bridges falling down.
That was Ring Around the
falling
Rosie.
down,
Yeah, Ring
falling
Around the
down.
Rosie.
London Bridges is
another
about
meaning
they had
too.
to destroy the
Okay.
bridges because of
Yeah.
the plague. So it's like it's like those songs
Yeah.
are like they're like so dark, and they're like I remember you singing them as a kid.
Yeah, facts.
So we gotta cancel all these lullabies, bro.
Why?
Cancel. No, 'cause
They're
that's
so you
cul-
don't forget.
That's culture we in.
But everyone's
Cancel.
already forgotten.
What?
It's
Nobody-
very ineffective.
You ask a millennial kid,
Nah.
a Gen Z kid, they be like, "What the hell is that?"
No, they'll
That's
definitely
why.
know.
That's why. No, they sing it, but they just don't know what it means.
Yeah.
That's this. I've heard some kids singing it recently. That's why I brought it
Yeah.
up.
No, that one. This one. Hold on. London Bridge was about. It seems like about Vikings invading.
Vikings a bit. Okay, I believe I was wrong.
Interesting.
But I know one of them was the plague, and it
The
was the
Vikings
ring
are
around the
coming.
roses.
The Vikings are coming.
All right. Well, while AJ looks that up,
Dog got a remote.
Brandon briefly brought it up earlier about Doge Coin being on fire. So that's the one thing that's gotten him at a 5.5 today. Doge is going to the fucking moon. Tomorrow, Saturday Night Live, the Doge father will be hosting, and I'm hoping we finally reach $1, and all of us will be living lavishly.
I'm retiring after it
Lavish.
reaches $1.
You're retiring?
No, it's
Stupid.
Bro, it's crazy because all these fucking quote-unquote experts, financial experts, were saying Doge won't even reach 10 cents. Doge won't reach $1. I retweeted something the other day. I think you liked it, Phil, about the one like Asian news reporter going in on the old white guy, like saying it's a joke, like don't buy it, like it's a joke, it's not gonna do anything.
They was afraid.
Yeah, bro.
Afraid of the mighty
these
Doge.
boomers, they don't understand, bro.
but also if a lot of the boomers they look at long-term investments.
Yeah,
So because crypto is moving so fast, it in essence is a gamble.
yeah,
So it's like I understand the sentiments, but at the same time I'm like,
Not even
I'd
that it's
rather-
moving fast, but there's no like it's not. There's no like government backing. There's nothing that makes it that traditionally would make it seem secure,
yeah.
which is why they're like, oh, okay, like that's why people are more hesitant to it. But now the government and banks are like, all right, we got to figure out how
yeah.
we can play in this space because there's a lot of money being made and we want to make money.
Yeah,
But even Bitcoin, like when it was booming, it was still like when Bitcoin was like 10,000, 15,000, it was still considered like taboo.
yeah,
Yeah, because it was the first one, and there wasn't really many. There's a ton now.
It's a ton now,
but
but yeah.
there was
But it's
There
the
wasn't
same
much.
fear now, but it's just spread across different platforms, different coins.
yeah,
So like,
But-
I guess a financial guru that goes against financial principles.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Because it's not a safe bet, or they don't see it as a safe bet.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Doge to the moon. That's all I
Yes.
gotta say, man. It's
But as you were saying, like there being a lot of different cryptos now, like Doge was a joke initially, but now it's like there's super joke ones. Like I think there's one called like Cum Rocket or something like that.
yes, it is.
Come rocket.
And I have a feeling that shit's going to do like super.
It's at 16 cents. Well, last time I checked, it was at 16. That was like a couple days ago.
Come rocket.
I might need to buy.
I don't even know if I
pause.
can buy that.
I might need to buy
Bro, I might just want to start my own.
a branding coin.
Nah, I ain't gonna never put my name on it. You know what I'm saying? Something crazy though.
Yeah.
a Bowie coin.
Elephant pancake ass. Yeah.
Call back.
You said that.
Uh-huh.
Oh my gosh.
But no, I definitely hope tomorrow after Elon, which apparently a lot of the Saturday Night Live
hate
co-hosts are upset that he's going to be on for whatever reason. I don't know why, but
He's so awkward.
They lost.
Is he
money
really?
in
I
their
thought he
stock.
was like not that awkward for who
yeah, I
he
didn't
is.
think he was. I don't know.
thought he's kinda-
I haven't really watched a
thought
lot
he
of
was pretty
interviews
cool,
with him,
man.
but
Yeah, I
don't
think
know.
it's very.
I mean,
cool.
I feel like any smart person is kind of like a little weird because they're a little out there.
Yeah, I thought he was out there. I mean, I get it.
You
I
gotta
mean,
be.
he's
to
talking
go to the moon.
about he's
Nah,
tweeting
totally,
about
for
making the Earth the multi-species planet. So
What do you mean a multi-species planet?
he just tweeted it,
we
and
already
like not just
multi-species planet?
not humans, like
Oh, with aliens.
extraterrestrials,
Yeah.
or making like maybe something that's a chimera or something.
Mhm.
You know what a chimera is?
No.
No.
It's like it's a depiction of like you've seen the lion with the snake
Oh,
tail and
yeah,
the
I know what you're
goat
talking about.
back.
No.
So
Chimeras
hybrid.
are a
It's a
ch
mixture
like
of
it's
genetic
like the
modifications,
yeah, but
pretty
it's
much.
like what the ancient Egyptians used to like what you see on their walls and stuff, like a dog
Gotcha.
head with a human body.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
yeah.
this thing about you go in for surgery and now you come out with tiger claws.
Yeah.
Sounds awful.
You're a
Gotcha.
chimera, like.
Because then you wouldn't be able to hold a fork.
But he eat with his tiger claws. Like, what are you talking
Yeah,
about? He's a
exactly.
tiger
A
now.
chimera is essentially a single organism that's made up of cells from 2 or more individuals.
Gotcha.
That's it.
Just think about
That
it.
is.
So is a
You're a
liger.
human, but you can run super fast because you got
Yeah.
cheetah in you.
That'd be
That'd be
lit.
lit.
Yeah.
Real quick.
Shouts out to Batman Beyond. They
Oh,
talked about
one way
splicing.
that chimeras can
I
happen
need a
naturally
Batman
is
Beyond movie.
humans is that a fetus can absorb its twin.
Yeah.
Real
And
quick.
then you become a
So a liger's not a chimera?
That's what I just asked.
probably
Really?
yeah.
Yeah.
What's your favorite animals?
Maybe, I
real
don't know.
quick.
Lion.
I think it has to be not in the same genius.
Maybe. Hold on,
It
let's
has
see.
to be in like different, like favorite animal.
Yeah.
There's Google.
It's 2, Lion and Black Panther.
Okay. Mine's cheetah.
I think
That used to be my favorite cat when I was growing
Really?
up.
my favorite animal.
Yeah, it is a chimera.
Is a wolf. I think. Well, not chimera. Favorite animal is,
Yeah.
is a wolf.
I'm not mad at that.
Mine's a black panther, jaguar.
Hey.
Growing up.
So we all cats
family.
minus
Well,
Brandon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a dog.
Well, mine's changed as I've like gotten older and stuff. But like I think it's kind of I like animals a lot, and I know
Yeah.
like a decent amount about them. So it's kind of hard for me to pick one. But like I think that's the one I have the most like affinity for, I guess.
Yeah.
So I have a favorite like vicious animal. Well, not very vicious. So wolves are my vicious animal, but I love red pandas.
Those are lit.
I love red pandas. They're so funny. I wish I could
Weren't
have
they
one.
endangered, or was that just regular
I
pandas?
think it's regular pandas.
okay.
But
I like both.
red pandas
Low-key.
are amazing. You ever seen like little foxes, like little
Yeah.
raccoons
Yeah.
that are mixed with pandas?
Cat family has always been my favorite.
Really?
So like started with the cheetah growing up. I love
Yeah,
the
cheetah too, for
because
me.
they were just so fast, and I just thought it was fascinating to go from
Yeah.
0 to 60 that quick. And then as I got older, it just became a lion and a Black Panther.
And dolphins are lit.
Yeah,
as well.
that was so dolphins and like killer whales for me, but cheetahs. It was cheetahs first, and then I like caracals because they could jump stupid high.
What?
A caracal. It's a not a big cat. It's like a smaller but bigger cat, and it has like tufts on its ears, almost like a lynx. So lynx
Okay.
was up there for me
yeah.
too.
And my favorite avian, it has to be a hawk. I remember used to watching a bunch of shows about how they have amazing eyesight.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they could like zoom down like at 200 miles per hour.
I think I have a favorite bird.
I think they may be the fastest animal. That like they
No,
fly.
peregrine falcon.
And falcon. Okay, one of them dives and it
Yeah.
goes like almost 200 miles per hour.
Yeah, it's a peregrine falcon.
Yeah, so that stuff's like that's crazy. How the hell can it still see like it moving that fast?
One of my favorite facts is albatross. They can sleep and fly at the same time, and they do it often when they like migrate. Albatross is like a big. It's almost like it looks like a huge seagull.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whereas seagulls are the most savage, disgusting animals in the
Or
world.
or pigeons.
Nah.
I think seagulls.
You think seagulls are worse than pigeons?
Them birds at Holiday Park are savages. They steal the food right out your mouth.
Oh.
Yeah.
Them little things is you be eating. I seen a man and then the birds like whack hit him in the face and took the fry. He's like, what the?
You think
That's
seagulls are the worst? Or them just so not toads?
Well, I'm saying birds.
Which your
yeah.
favorite
Oh, the worst
insect?
birds. Okay.
Yeah.
Favorite insect?
Favorite
You.
insect?
Are
No, I'm
scorpions
just kidding.
considered insects?
Scorpions. You mean?
Scorpio.
Bro, he be going to museums reading art.
My favorite insect has to be
But are scorpions considered
Reading
insects?
art and
I
scorpion.
think so, yeah.
Because
A
there's
praying
scorpions that
mantis.
consider insects. Mine's a scorpion.
a
Yeah.
praying mantis. Is that'd be my favorite insect.
Mine's a scorpion.
Mine's probably
Obvious
just
reasons.
spiders.
I don't know, cause you like Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have a favorite insect.
I
I
hate
think
spiders.
I
butterflies
wasn't.
are cool. 'Cause they-
Tarantulas are cool, but they kind of gross me out being so hairy.
Yeah, I think
Ever seen
butterflies are cool
butterflies?
because they like.
Go through.
Oh,
They
true.
Yeah.
they're like real life
They change.
Pokemons
Yeah, exactly.
and evolve.
I like moths because when you smack them, they're all dusty.
Ew. Bro, what?
Just like, there's like dust in my hand. I always was fascinated.
We just
by
went like really off the cuff.
Yeah.
here.
Next topic though is a story. I didn't even tell y'all this.
Oh yeah, this is breaking news, guys. You're hearing it first.
Earlier today, I tweeted that Hallover Beach was calling my name. Hallover Beach, for those that don't know, is a beach in North Miami. It also has a nude section. So if you are a listener throughout this entire pod, we brought up the nude beach several times. So wanted to go there. Phil, I think, liked and retweeted my tweet, but
I did because it was such a great day today.
Yeah.
Like, that's all I could think about when I went outside in the middle of the day. I was like, that'd be a great day to go to the
yeah.
beach.
So this dude DMs me.
Oh, it was today.
Yeah. This dude DMs me. I don't follow him. I don't think he follows me. No, he doesn't follow me. He probably just was searching all over and decided to tweet me. So he says,
He tweeted you or just tweet or
or
DM'd
he
you?
DMs me.
Okay.
Yeah, he's
He's
sliding
like,
So it's a
DMs.
little more personal.
Yeah. So he's like hitting all over. Was gonna see if it's busy enough to go, and I was like, I wish. I'm at work. It's Friday afternoon. I wouldn't imagine that it's too busy. He was like, right, I'm at work now, but was about to head over there. And I was like, now would be the time to go. He was like, totally forgot to bring extra clothes.
You were
My-
definitely flirting with him.
Entertained it, G.
Yeah, you definitely like.
I was trying to help Buddy out. So he's like,
Freak
totally
man,
forgot to
freak man.
bring extra clothes, might show up in a suit and strip down. And I was like, that's the move, with a crying, laughing face. And this is where
That's
it's-
where you. That's where you
Yes,
messed up.
bruh. That was a
At
red
that
flag.
point,
He might
that-
have sent you a dick pic. after
we
that.
need to have the voiceover. We need it in all the black movies with the freeze frame
Y'all wonder how I
voiceover.
got here?
That's where you. Exactly. At
so
that moment, he
this
knew.
is where everything goes right. So he was like, you ever wear a cock ring there?
Yo.
And I was like, I don't, LOL. He was like laughing my ass off.
He's still talking to dude.
He was like
Zach's
laughing.
just polite.
And he was like laughing my ass off. I just saw people wearing one before and was confused. You go often? And I was like, yeah, there's usually a handful of people there with one on. But I was like, I don't go as often as I would like. Probably go once every other month. He was like, yeah, I go by myself and have been trying to find someone to go with. And that's when I stopped responding.
You entertained
That's
him
when
long
you
enough.
stop responding.
And bro, going off 2 episodes
He
ago.
was in there. You got a friend in me.
Yeah, seriously. Buddy,
In me.
I
I'm trying to be.
I didn't want to ignore Buddy. I couldn't be a hypocrite and then get on Brandon's bad side. I had to respond to him, and
get on my
but it
bad
just
side.
it got to a point where it was a little too weird. I probably should have stopped responding after the cock ring part, but
Yes, and
at the same time, I was kind of like, I want to see how
this
weird
gonna
this
go.
is.
I wanna see where
gonna
this
go.
goes.
Yeah.
I would have
He was bored at work, but next time just text me and we
Yeah.
can talk about something
See,
regular.
with that mentality, bro, you might have almost could have got a dick pic.
I probably could have. I probably
You
could
can't
have.
just say
It
I'm
wouldn't.
see
It
where
wouldn't
this
have been
gonna go.
unwarranted.
Yeah. He cock ring. See, look, this is the one I wear, and you're like, oh damn,
Yeah,
Brody.
honestly, after I responded, I was like, I hope he doesn't send me a cock ring pic.
Folks is gonna send you one, be like, this is the one I wear. We should go to the beach sometimes.
We can match.
But yeah, that's my story
He
for.
definitely hit on you, G.
He did. He really did.
He wants
His
to
name.
go to the beach
I don't
with
even
you.
think I should put his name out.
No.
I won't
Don't.
put his @name out because I'm sure you could find mad people with this name, but his name was Big Mike. So that should have
You
probably
can't
been.
even- Bruh,
that probably should.
why
have
did you even
been-
respond to that?
probably should have been red flag number one.
I'm
Big
surprised
Mike.
you didn't even mention.
Brandon
Like,
put his hood on.
I was like, bro, did you like mention like I was like waiting for you to say I go with my fiance often, but this man didn't put his fiance in there at all.
did not.
I was thinking about
Zach's
that, but I
like,
was
I
like, nah,
wanna-
he gonna be a creep, and then try to find out
Okay.
who she is. So nah, I was like, nah.
Big Mike just sliding in the DMs.
Big
like,
Mike.
Big Mike, bruh. I can't even respond to a nigga about the new beach with the name Big Mike. Big Mike sound like he wear cock rings.
He definitely does.
Big Mike sounds like there's more to love.
Yeah, there
Oh,
definitely
Big
is.
Mike, that's wild.
But moving on, this week y'all got anything
Phil's
to get
about
off
to
your...
change his name on Twitter to Big Phil.
Yeah, for real.
I don't do that.
No.
Lil Petey. Lil Petey. Y'all got anything you want to get off your chest this week?
Phil, you haven't. Have you been here for one of these segments?
Yeah, I've been here for one
Oh,
of the
last
Yeah,
week.
you
Yeah,
said
last
last
week.
week.
But,
nah, bro. You know, if I got something on my chest, I get it off. I don't hold my tongue, really. I got
Brandon,
something to say, I say it.
you got anything to get off your chest?
I think he said he had something. No.
No, I don't think so.
I really hate that my memory's getting bad because I definitely had something I wanted to bring up this week, and now I can't remember what it is. I need to start writing what bothers me down.
Making a quick note.
Yeah. But we can move on to streaming. So Synchronic was something that Brandon watched. I have no idea what it is.
And I'm
So
here to
I watched
ruin
it too.
oh,
I'm
okay.
here to ruin it.
Go ahead.
It's a movie about
What is it on Netflix?
Yeah,
it's on
Netflix.
Netflix. It's your boy.
Anthony Mackie.
Yeah, that guy's super lit. I love that guy.
I do, but I feel like he's always in like
The same.
the
role.
same stuff and kind of like in weird off roles. Like I don't know. Like when I see him in, I'm like, all right, this probably was gonna be interesting, but like I don't know if I want to watch him in this or like I really want to see him right now, kind of thing. But
I
this is
liked
good.
him in this. I liked him in Altered Carbon.
Yeah, I watched
That
Altered Carbon
that
too,
was
yeah.
lit. He's naturally funny to me. Like he doesn't make a joke, like try. It's not like he's trying.
He's
but
almost kind of
it's-
awkward too.
Yeah, it's just the way he says it. It's just hilarious to me. Like
Mm-hmm.
he'll
He's
start
in Winter
cursing,
Soldier.
and I just think it's like the funniest
people.
thing. But it's a movie about like time dilation and about traveling through time and stuff like that by, in a sense, awakening a part of yourself.
Of your brain.
Yeah, and that you're able to move through time. It's kind of like you ever seen that movie Men Who Stare at Goat, where
Goats,
you're trying to like it was like the CIA was
Yeah, I
trying to
never
work
saw it.
with the army to build like Jedi warriors, and like they were like could walk through wall, talk to animals, kill people with a stare, stuff like that, and it's like unlocking those parts of your brain, and you're allowed to do like superhuman things. And so that's kind of like what this movie was about, but it was like a drug. It was about drugs. And like it was like a totally legal drug because like one of those things
synthetic.
that
So,
you
like-
find like over the counter like at like a smoke shop or something.
Well, yeah,
like,
the reason
where-
why it was legal is because it was synthetic. It wasn't like
the real
K2?
thing, like how spice, when people used to smoke
K2.
spice and stuff like
RK2.
that.
Yes, like a synthetic drug that you can get anywhere.
Yeah, so yeah, he was just like the people were taking a drug and dying, and what was happening was they were actually slipping through time, and so like it all was about where you were at when the drug started to kick in, and that would take you to that place in time, like a different time but the same place, and so yeah, he was just like all the people were dying because they would go back
By
and
different like super weird ways. Like
yeah.
one girl got bit by a snake that hadn't been in the area for like 200 years or something. People were like,
Yeah.
how is this venom? Did this venom get in her?
Yeah, and where's the snake? The snake was gone because the snake was still in time, but she's the only one moving through time. And then, like one dude got stabbed with a sword, and they were like, "Where's the sword?" But it was in the wall, and so it was talking about like things like you can come back, but things don't come back with you, right? It gets distorted because it's not from the time. And so he was he's a paramedic in it, and he's like showing up to all these scenes and all that. And then he shows up to a scene, and his homeboy, who's working as a paramedic with him, his daughter took the stuff, and she was gone, and she was missing. So he went to the store after that and bought up all the Synchronic, and like was like gonna throw it all away or dispose of it. But then the dude who made it came up to him and was like, "Hey, like I'll buy it all from you." And he's like, "Nah." And then the dude breaks into his house to try to steal it.
Yeah.
And he's like, then he tells him what the hell
What
is
it
going on.
does,
But
yeah.
it's like, would you believe a guy if he's telling you like, "Oh man, this stuff opens up this and it allows you to go slip back in
Yeah, because
time"?
it interacts with your pineal gland.
Yeah. And it's like it's like the pineal gland is like very active when you're like young, but when you get older it calcifies and stuff like that.
Third eye.
And yeah, so but in the movie, your boy had a tumor, a blastoma on his pineal, so it was open still. So he was like a kid, like his pineal gland was like so.
Was
and
younger.
So he was able to jump back and forth without like a lot of problems. So he started taking it to try to find her. Well, he took it just to take it, and then he found himself back in time, And he's like, oh crap, like what the hell just happened? And then so he starts taking it and recording it, and he was actually slipping through time. And then he was like Ice Age. He was like back in the South,
in like 1700s.
And it was like depending on where he took the
racist
drug, that's where he went back to. And so he was
And if you're in the same location when you take it, you go back to that same time in that same spot.
So it was like pretty cool. Like you can like time travel, and it was only for like 7 minutes. You can go back, and you had to get back to the spot. So when you fell into the time, you had to get back to the spot, or you couldn't come home.
And this is like a completely serious movie. It's not like a comedy.
Yeah. No, it's really good.
Yeah, it's really good.
Very.
Yeah.
Wasn't
Make you
Anthony
think.
Mackie the guy that was in that Black Mirror movie with
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't looked at him the same since that episode.
I actually never watched that one.
Striking
Striking,
Vipers.
yeah.
Vipers, yeah.
That was pretty good.
That would be me and Big Mike.
Oh, bro.
Oh my god.
It has been another episode of the
But yeah.
Zach is off the show now.
So
And if you ain't fucking with Big Mike, then I.
oh my god. Yeah, but it was a really good movie and it was a dope watch. I don't want
Bro,
to give
Big
any,
Mike definitely watches the pod now.
Oh,
for
for
real.
sure.
Dude.
yeah, gave away a lot of stuff, but like there's still a lot more to it. So I would definitely go in there and watch it. It's just a really good movie. It's a really good watch. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I
It seems
watched
like
it
it seems
twice.
like it wasn't like a big budget film or whatever. It's just like a kind of an indie feel, but really good writing, really good good plot. The way they like the things you think about or it makes you think about it is like, oh, that's kind of crazy.
But there was only like one part that really like kind of messed with my mind.
Yeah.
Is when the guy broke into the home. Like I didn't see him in the closet.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But that whole part was so short, and I felt like it needed to be like a little bit more talked about. Like don't give me everything, but give me just a little bit more. I think it was like such a quick interaction.
Yeah.
And then for him to actually believe like that and take it because he was throwing it away. So I was like, if the guy would have came with a little bit more information for him, like how did he just fuck it, I'm gonna believe him and take it and see. You know,
Yeah.
so that kind of like bothered me a little bit. But
I think he was always like he was always already on the fence and always on the fence about taking it or not, just to see what the hell was going on.
because he always was playing with the coin. But I was like, it just a little bit more. It just bothered me. I don't think it was bad.
That it
but
was
I just
too
think
quick,
It just bothered me. I feel like he's just like explaining this. Like I know you didn't want to go
And
into
the drug
too much
wasn't-
detail about
yeah.
it, but like,
The drug wasn't like meant for kids either. It was meant for adults.
yeah.
And
But them adults were dying. That just was crazy.
yeah.
Something else that you were passionate about, and it wasn't on the list, but that Black Samurai
Yasuke.
series that came out.
Yasuke, I hated it.
You hate it?
don't
I was
like
thinking about checking it out, but
Watch it.
yeah,
Don't just listen to me. Hopefully it gets renewed.
because I like my dog Lakeith.
Yeah, my dog Lakeith, he's lit, but I didn't like it. I didn't like it that much. I felt like there's a girl in there, and she's one of the main characters, and I hated her voiceover. I don't know why. It was so annoying to me.
Yeah.
But it wasn't another thing. I didn't even check. I think I did check. It wasn't in no Japanese. Like I like to watch things in like Japanese or whatever the native languages,
Yeah.
and then read the subtitles. So it wasn't in that. But the story
Well,
seemed
of course, like
hella
Lakeith
rushed.
Stanfield. I don't think he can speak Japanese,
Yeah, but
and he's like the main selling point of
yeah.
it, or like the
That's-
driver.
Yeah, I understand that, but I still it still bothers me to watch things in English.
Yeah.
It
But did
just,
you like what was that Zeus one? Son of Zeus?
Not really.
No.
I watched it, but I
Yeah.
didn't really like it. It's not something I'd go back and watch. But yeah, this one had good animations, but it just felt so rushed. The whole thing felt like it was like just rushed, and then the whole story did not make sense to me personally. I was like, okay, this is like about an actual black samurai who was in Japan, but it was like very like futuristic at times, very old at times. I was like, what in the hell time
So it was,
dilation
like,
is
kind
going
of
on
like
right
a
now? This is like
Post-apocalyptic.
yeah,
type
kind
thing?
of
Oh, okay.
feel to it.
Mm.
But
I haven't
it was-
watched it, so I can't see.
It was
Say what?
just weird. It was just like there was robots, there was dark magic, there was mutants. It was like this shit was too much. I just felt like it was too
I
much.
tried to do like every anime in one.
Yeah, and then like people had powers, people didn't have powers. And it was just so much. Like, and within 6 episodes.
It was only 6 episodes.
Yeah, 6 episodes. And it was just so much. Like, so much happened in the first episode. So much happened in like second episode. It was like so much like They was just felt like they just crashed. They were just crashing through walls instead of like taking the time, waiting for the thing to go down and go to the next story. Like it was no build up. It was just all constant, just go. This and that was happening, and it really didn't. You really didn't get to build a relationship with the character Yasuke. Like they didn't really like tell you. They told you where he was from and stuff like that, but they never like made it like personal for you. It made like you couldn't like like with a normal character, like if you look at Marvel's Killmonger, where you can like you could feel that character. You couldn't really feel his character, even though he's a black man. They were like, they were pushing the race car a little bit too much in it, and they were like, you'll always be a servant. And they kept bringing that up. You'll always be a servant. You're this and that. And I felt like they were playing on that a little bit too much instead of like just.
Yeah, it seems like they from what you're describing, they tried to hit every single like narrative or possible way they could go with it.
Yeah, the feudal lord was
and
gay.
Didn't really just. Oh really?
Yeah, I
and
think
really
that was the dude and just looked like a woman. That's what it sounded like because the one guy and the thing got mad because it was some weird stuff going on. I was like, they just put everything in there. I was like, it's cool to have that stuff in there, but like it just was like all over the place and like all of a sudden these people he was fighting came back to help him, and it was like, why are you helping him? And there was no reason for why they came back, and so it was just like out of place. I'm like, yo, why did they come back and help? Like out of nowhere, they just showed up, like, and they were just trying to kill him like 2 episodes ago. It wasn't like and how that episode ended, it wasn't like they became friends,
right?
And so now they're all of a sudden friends. It was just like so much missing. So like there's a lot of like shows like they talk about animes where there's like a bunch of filler. Like they say 10% of the show is filler, or like, but it had no filler at all. Yeah. It was just constant.
Had no story built. It was just like
jumping too much to me, and I just was like, okay, I watched it all, but it was just like I didn't think it was like I don't think I had to go back and watch it.
Yeah,
it was just too much at one point.
All right, we could jump on to sports. For the first time in a long time, we have multiple sports topics to talk about. I feel like we haven't talked fucking sports since fucking Nam.
Since Nam.
So it's actually not on here, but real quick, our boy Chad Ocho, he's gonna be the undercard during the Floyd and Logan Paul fight. I'm really excited to see who Ocho fights.
Who he's fighting?
Get robbed.
And hopefully, yeah.
You think so?
I hope he doesn't.
Yeah,
I
same.
hope he doesn't
I
either.
like Chad.
Same. We all love Chad. I don't want to look at my dog different if he gets knocked out. But going
Chad's
on,
gonna fight?
Yeah, he's gonna be the undercard.
Who's he fighting?
Probably,
They
I think they
haven't
said like
announced
6
yet.
rounds or something. He talked about it on the I Am Athlete.
Yeah,
thing.
but
Has he been doing like fighting?
So he said he used to actually train with Floyd in his camp when he was in the league. But it's been some time. So.
But he was also at Fight Club for a long time.
Oh, was he?
Training
I didn't know that.
before he started training somewhere else. But like
Yeah.
he was like big up in them. I think helping with marketing or just
Yeah.
trying to get people in there. But like Fight Club down here, that gym.
Yeah, but I would like to see him and Brandon Marshall fight. That'd be funny.
Oh, that would
And
be
entertaining.
hilarious.
Yeah.
They would be so competitive. They'd be really trying to knock each
Yeah.
other out and be friends after. But
Yeah.
like it's two alphas in
What's that one
rivalry.
player in the league who wanted to fight Brandon Marshall? Bennett, last name Bennett. He has a brother in the league too.
Bennett.
Oh,
There's
Michael
Marcellus.
Bennett.
Martellus Bennett.
Yeah, Martellus.
Martellus, yeah, he wanted to. He when he slammed that rookie for trying to like he could have broke my neck. Y'all remember that video?
I vaguely remember
And
that.
he's
Yeah.
like,
Was that Brandon Marshall he was trying to fight?
Yeah, no, afterwards, because Brandon said something. He's like, you can come get some too, Brandon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
so funny to me.
Yeah. But yeah, Floyd and Jake Paul. So I guess Floyd and Logan were doing some press, the pre-fight press that fighters always do. And then Jake and Floyd got into it, got face to face. We're talking. Jake was saying like we could sign the contract, this and that. And then takes Buddy's hat or takes Floyd's hat. I got your hat.
I got your hat. I got your hat.
Like that was the corniest shit I've ever seen in my life. Whether it's real or fake, the shit is corny regardless.
It was
Got
bad.
your hat.
But it was corny,
I'ma
but
beat that
it got what he wanted.
Yeah.
That is true.
It was successful. It was corny, but successful.
Yeah.
I mean, it builds hype. It's gonna be a hype, but I thought
Floyd's gonna make so much money.
that's what he do, man. It's
Yeah.
Floyd.
It's like when Rocky was like in the movie Rocky when he was fighting Hulk Hogan. Like, it's just like for show. It's like an exhibition just to make money.
So you think it was staged?
Yeah,
I
of
think
course.
so, yeah.
I think I would believe that Jake Paul. Yeah, Jake Paul did it, knowing what was gonna happen, and Floyd didn't know that he was gonna try him like that.
Yeah.
I would believe that more than both of them being fake, just from
Yeah.
seeing.
Jake got a tattoo.
Yeah, so I got your hat.
Got your hat.
Did he?
And he got
And
a
he
hat.
posted it before he did it, so I'm gonna take Mayweather's hat.
How would he even know he was gonna wear a hat?
Was it before?
Yeah, that's true
I
too.
thought,
Then
I thought he was
I thought
talking
it
about
just
it
came
on his platforms before. Yeah.
I don't know.
Floyd
Yeah, I
also
don't
got
know.
it.
That would be weird. I feel like even he's a good marketer, so he wouldn't even
Yeah.
do that. Like,
Yeah, I think I just saw everybody saw it today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seeing Floyd like this though made me realize no matter how good technology gets, I never want to see Phil with a hairline again. Because Floyd looks terrible with this new fucking hairline. Like that shit looks like a fucking.
he's
rub.
gonna have hair in the fight, or is he gonna shave it?
I don't know, but that shit looks.
I
terrible.
thought he just like pandemic, not really caring, just like let his stuff grow.
I don't know.
I
thought
thought
he
he was getting
got.
hair treatments.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Mm.
Oh, he's
No, I
never.
wouldn't get hair treatments. I told y'all that's fake. If my hair just grows back naturally, for sure.
It just grows back. Why?
Nah,
With your vegan juices?
Bald a good look on
Bruh, that Doge Coin is gonna make him grow
yeah.
back.
Doge his $2. Phil coming back with a new hairline.
I'm
man.
coming back with dreads.
It's lock in.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But what do we think the outcome of Logan and Floyd's gonna be?
I just hope
Knockout?
Floyd
I don't
takes
know.
takes it super seriously.
You think it's gonna be
Yeah.
actual knockout?
Knockout.
I
You think
also
Floyd's
don't
knocking out?
understand why it's Logan versus Floyd. Like no.
Because excuse me, everyone hates Jake, and Jake's the one that's been boxing on the stage, right?
Yeah.
So he's gonna fight Logan. He's gonna beat Logan,
Then get to
and
Jake.
then the bigger fight is gonna be like, oh, I got my
True,
brother's
true,
back.
true.
Is Jake versus
Yeah.
Floyd?
He gonna put Logan down with a body shot.
Even like honestly, even if Logan can beat him, he's gonna lose.
Yeah.
I just like I don't see him winning, knowing how much money can be made.
Yeah.
Just thinking of it that way.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
true.
I just hope Floyd takes it seriously
Same.
and trains and fights.
Right,
like,
because if he does knock, like if he beats Floyd like that,
Here's the thing.
that
that'd be
tarnishes his career.
right. That'd be so heartbreaking too. Then the thing
Yeah.
is like Logan is also a lot bigger of a person.
Yeah.
My thing is, Floyd don't gotta take that serious. Like, I mean, it's a fight, so you
Oh,
take it
come
serious.
on, bro.
It's a fight, so you take it serious to a certain level. But I don't think the Logan brothers could beat up an amateur boxer.
Yeah.
Floyd has been training for 20 to 30 years.
Yeah.
Whether you not off or not, you know how to react,
Yeah.
and he's gonna see his punches coming. Which is why I think I think Floyd could hurt him if he really wanted to. I think he's gonna make it entertaining and go do what he did against McGregor, take some punches, make it look interesting,
Yeah.
and then he gonna tear his ass up. And I think he's gonna put him down with a body shot. I think he's gonna body shot the
I
shit
think
out
he
of
comes out the gate and just rocks him.
him. Nah, you gotta make it interesting. You gotta
Yeah,
make it
that's
interesting. To get a second fight, you gotta
But
make
he also,
it
Logan,
look like he got a
well, he's not gonna have a
chance.
second fight. It's gonna be him fighting
I
his
mean,
brother.
Fighting his brother.
It doesn't
fight
have
the
it doesn't
brother,
have to
yeah.
be
He's
interesting.
gonna get the fight anyway.
Yeah, it's gonna
All
be.
he's
It's
gotta
gonna
do
happen
is
no,
knock this
no matter
nigga
what.
out.
It doesn't have to be interesting.
That's all he has to do. All you gotta do is knock him out.
I can guarantee
Beat
you
him up.
Floyd's gonna make it interesting, bro.
If Floyd probably
He's
might.
a showman. He's gonna make it
defensive.
interesting.
But I don't
He's a
know.
defensive guy, but he can still tag it back. But I feel like he's gonna check him out. He's not gonna go full balls of fury at him. He's gonna
No, because you
he's
just
gonna
can't.
check it out,
You-
check him out, see what his tendencies are, and then go out there. And that's
Because there's no film on him really either. There's probably like one or two fights of him
Yeah,
fighting
true.
when he
nobody.
fought KSI.
Yeah.
or
That's the
whatever.
only person he's fought.
True, but it's Floyd.
Yeah.
He's one of the greatest defensive fighters of all time.
That's
If
what
not
that's what
one.
we're saying.
I'm saying, so-
he's gonna feel him out first, and then he's gonna go in for it.
I don't feel like you really got to fill him out because he's not a professional
And that's
boxer.
how legends get knocked
yes,
out.
exactly. That's how you that's how you get slept.
No, bro.
Underestimating people.
Bro, what are you talking about? Bro, let's just go to something else,
Listen.
please.
Floyd is, bro. He is a professional fighter. He's not gonna get slumped by an amateur YouTube.
Okay, if he's a professional fighter, if he does this for a profession, he's gonna take his profession serious. You saying that he's not gonna take it serious, so it doesn't have to, is going against what you're saying by saying he's a professional.
I never said he's not gonna take it serious. I
You
said
said he doesn't have to.
Have to.
Right.
That's why I don't like
All right.
hypocrites.
Doesn't have to take it serious and not
You're
gonna
just
take
trying to
it
mince
serious.
words now.
No, I'm not. I never say he's gonna. I said he doesn't have to. He don't. I
But
feel like he
any
doesn't.
professional fighter knows that if they're getting in a ring, they have to take it serious. So by you saying that he doesn't have to, that's negating the fact that he's a professional.
Yes.
Okay.
Just like I'm a professional advertiser. If I know I'm going to be spending money on something, I'm going to take it serious.
Okay. So he's gonna train like he trained like he. So he's gonna train for Jake Logan. Was it Jake Logan Paul?
This is Logan.
He
He's
can't
gonna train-
afford to
I'm
lose
saying
his fight.
He's
That's
gonna
what I'm
train
saying.
for Logan Paul like he trained for Cotto and Pacquiao And no, he's not. He's gonna train probably a little bit under what he trained for McGregor.
He trains.
He didn't even train that hard for McGregor.
You train differently for your opponent no matter what, but he's still gonna take it serious.
Of course, he's gonna train. He's a professional fighter. I'm not saying he's not gonna. I'm not saying he's just gonna walk in the ring without running, bruh. I'm not saying that. I'm saying if he did it, he would still beat his ass. If Floyd didn't train, he would go in there and beat Logan Paul's ass, regardless if he trained or not.
No, that's not true,
would, bro.
That's like saying, okay, I can run a 6:30 mile right now, and then okay, I got a race in a month. I'm not gonna train at all. And then I go.
And I'm still expecting.
I'm still running 6:30.
If you've been in long distance running your whole life,
bro, Phil,
for 20 years,
yes,
and there's a so
look,
let me finish.
Okay,
You're running your whole life, right? And you're like, I got some time off. I'm retired. I'm living a good life. I can take off 2 months, 2, 3 months, 6 months, or whatever.
That's a lot of time.
And there's a guy that's been training for like maybe a year and a half. You're gonna beat him in the long distance race.
No, you're not.
You'll be. Yes, you
Dude,
will, bro.
You know how quickly
racing is a bad comparison. I mean, I'm kind of on Phil's side on this, but racing's a bad comparison.
Muscle memory, bro.
No, but to box
to a certain degree, but
you have to
like,
be in condition to box.
In anything, like
especially people leaning up on you and stuff like that. That wears you down. So I can't just say, okay, I take a month off of basketball, I can go out there and windmill. No.
But but look at this.
It feels foreign. It feels foreign for you. Even though I've been playing forever. I go out there after a week, just even after a week, I'm like, damn, I gotta fix my whole shot. I gotta learn how to dribble again.
It's not.
It's more like if you took a year off from playing basketball, and Phil was like, Brandon, let's play 1-on-1. Like, I don't think
Phil sucks. He's not gonna beat me.
But I've been training for a year and a half.
That's the point, though.
Thank
you.
But the thing is, even though I could not even learn how to dribble anymore.
Right.
All I gotta do is sit in the paint.
You're proving my
point.
But
he's smaller.
This is a better comparison.
I never thought I'd be on Phil's side.
No, but this is a better way to look at it. Like I'm like, not that we're not leaning toward what Phil's saying. Like, yes, the overwhelming probability is that Floyd is going to win, and that he doesn't have to work as hard to win. But in boxing, in fighting, one punch can put you out.
Yeah, that's true. Exactly.
It's not in basketball where we're gonna put a 7, we're checking up 7 times.
Yeah.
If he could be tagging him, he could be playing with him, trying to make it interesting, right? If he gets hit one time and in the right spot and it knocks him out, that's it.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not saying.
Yeah,
I understand.
Phil
that
never
point.
said he doesn't need to train. He just says he doesn't need to take it as serious.
And I'm also
right.
saying,
But if you're not taking it as serious, you're way more likely to get one punch.
Has Floyd ever been dropped in his career?
There's movies about this.
Okay, he's also how old now?
It doesn't matter, bro.
It does too matter.
That does not matter.
Your age
it matters
does not matter.
if he's punch drunk. He's not punch drunk, bro. Like, Floyd is still sharp. Even though he's a couple years older than his last fight, he's still Floyd Mayweather. He's still sharp.
Yeah, you can still be sharp and still get caught.
Bro, his half is gonna be better than Logan Paul's best.
We're not disagreeing.
We're not saying that. We're not saying.
But
that
if you
at
don't
all.
take it serious,
but we're saying that he needs to take it seriously because
right now I feel like Floyd is probably at half of his prime right now.
Not a chance. He's probably at 70. He's more than half.
Okay.
Have you seen him fight recently?
He has no clue. He's just all talking about being a fan.
It's just malarkey.
What do you mean being a fan? Bro, I've watched Floyd his whole career.
Right.
No, but when's the last time you saw him fight?
Yeah,
when's the last time you seen him train?
McGregor's last fight. His last fight was the last time I saw him
When was that fight?
Like 5 years ago.
Didn't he fight some Asian kid?
Yeah, he fought in Japan a couple times. Yeah.
So
he didn't even fight that
he
guy.
Destroyed that kid.
Yeah.
Because the guy couldn't kick. The guy is a kickboxer.
What is Jake Paul?
Logan Paul.
Logan, whatever his name is. What is Logan Paul?
And I think
he's a YouTuber.
I think Jake's the better fighter.
But he's been training to box.
He's a YouTuber, bro.
All right, we going in circles though. If the fight,
you want to bet on
Floyd train.
You want to bet on it?
Bet on what?
Bet all your Doge.
Put 100 on it.
Put your Doge up.
He's not saying.
Why?
Phil is completely lost on what the actual conversation is.
Betting what?
Y'all think.
What are we betting? What are we betting?
Everyone said that Floyd's going to win this fight.
Yeah, so what are we betting?
Y'all think he actually has a chance to catch him slipping, and I don't.
So how are you gonna? bet
There's
that?
always a
Yeah,
chance.
there's always a
Because
possibility.
if you feel like there's a chance, you'll bet on that chance that he's going.
There's a chance that a
No,
meteorite can strike down
Bro,
through your skull right
Phil
now.
Phil is the epitome of nonsense.
Bro,
Like,
it's
what the-
hypocrisy, bro. It's man
I'm just
stupid.
saying.
They're not saying it's gonna happen. They're just saying there's a
So,
chance,
yeah,
a
it's not
possibility.
chance. It's not a possibility.
There's a possibility I can win the lottery. It's not
Yeah.
gonna happen, but
Odds
there's
aren't in your favor. Good luck.
anyways.
But you, see, you're a hypocrite. You are literally what you just said has made all of us dumber just now.
Thank you for that, Phil.
If the fight is cheap, are we sliding?
Yeah, I'll slide.
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
It's like paying Doge.
It's not gonna be that cheap.
It's gonna be paying
Nah,
Doge.
that fight-
Paying
That
Doge
shit
is all
better
on-
be
is all
cheap,
on
bro.
brand.
It's $1 million fight. That fight's not cheap.
Phil gonna put all his money on Floyd, and then Floyd gonna get caught because
Nah,
he didn't
It's
train
at,
as
it's
hard.
at Hard Rock though. Like, when's the last time we've seen a boxing match take place in a football stadium?
They might not have the. Do you think they're gonna have the entire thing open?
Probably.
Didn't the Dolphins have full capacity towards the end of the season?
No, but like for, like they've had boxing
that's true.
in like basketball arenas,
Yeah,
but the
they
entire
probably
arena
won't-
isn't
okay,
open.
I get- yeah,
that's
the
what I'm
upper
saying.
deck probably will be closed off. Anyways, so we talked about one of Jesus Christ. We talked about one of Phil's favorite people. We'll talk about one of his other favorite people, LeBron, and one of my least favorite people, probably my least favorite person.
Lebronski.
He thought it'd be crucial to say that having the playing games and whoever came up with that idea should be fucking fired. How y'all feel about that? Y'all goats, Brandon and Phil. I'm pointing
It's
to.
petty because he just said it because niggas suck without him.
Yeah, bro. Like
Like if he was up, he wouldn't have said it. So I get it. It's human.
And there wasn't there like a video or like someone called back saying, "Hey, he thought it was a good idea,
Yeah.
and it was a great in the bubble."
I think it was a tweet or something. Of course, I never believe everything I see on social
Right.
media, Twitter specifically. So I don't know if he actually said it.
Yeah,
but
I saw them quote like
Yeah.
something though.
If he did, I mean, I think he's a bitch
Or link,
regardless.
yeah.
But
I think that was good for last year because it would make sense. But right now it doesn't. To me, it doesn't make sense because they're in a bubble and they invited teams that had no chance of making it.
No,
Yeah.
they only invited teams that would have been
Well,
they were within a certain amount of games
Within a certain amount of games, but
when the season ended, and the
Yeah.
season ended with like 15 games left or something.
yeah, but that was a special condition. Now
Yeah.
they're back to playing. Like, why? Why would you
But the
go back to
NBA,
that?
Well,
rule?
it's-
they're trying to find ways to make the NBA more entertaining, more like since Adam Silver
I don't
has
watch
been
it at all
commissioner.
anyways.
I mean, I barely watch now too because this bitch is on my team. But since Adam Silver has been commissioner, all you hear about is new ideas on how to like. They talked about doing like just the top 16 instead of doing like East and West. They talked about doing like an in-season tournament and having incentives for that. Of course, the bubble that wasn't in his control, but the playing games could potentially be an ongoing thing. So
I think you stop letting people gang up on one team. That's what you stop. Like they vetoed that Kobe and CP3 back then.
Yeah.
They should have vetoed this. Now it makes me not want to watch basketball.
Well, no,
Everybody's
but
on the same team.
They not though.
They are.
So
Kevin
I mean,
Durant, James Harden, and Kyrie Irving.
the reason why like it was unanimously accepted was because it brings more revenue.
what are you
And-
talking about? The playing game?
No, the playing games like
Yeah.
before the season, it brings more revenue, and the reason why there's backlash now, and even like Mark Cuban said, yeah, it was a good idea at the time when we thought that, like before we knew what the season was going to look like, but I think in the last like 30 days, or like teams were playing like 12 games in 15 days.
Yeah.
So like tons. I'm exaggerating by a little bit, but it's probably like 12 games in like 18 days
Yeah.
or something like that. So a lot of back-to-backs, a lot of traveling, a lot of games on top of each other. So that, and with all the COVID restrictions and people losing because of like all the trials and tribulations from COVID and restrictions like that, people not being able to play and people losing games because of that, or games being postponed to later dates. So that makes more games packed up on top of each other or whatever. That makes for that's why people are like, all right, this doesn't really make sense. Not that why people are saying that, but why it doesn't make as much sense as it did before. When if it was a regular season, it would be great to have that because there's more games. People are going to watch that. There's going to be more TV revenue.
Yeah.
It's going to make the salary cap go up because they can sell that separately or add that. in there to TV rights and stuff and make more money off advertising and stuff. All that is just to make more money and get people paid more, which is why all the players were for it, and it was unanimously accepted before. But now that it's like go time, and you're like, all right, now I'm the one that's going to be affected, or like I could possibly lose and be out the playoffs now, and my chance for a championship could be gone because our team has been hurt, like the Lakers and other teams like that.
They won the title,
right?
Yeah,
and they got the shortened season, and it's in
shortened rest.
So they got the least amount of rest, and they're affected the most. One of the teams affected most by injury. Like this really could destroy them or push them out the playoffs if they fall.
Because they didn't have the adequate rest, like you said, and that's a big thing for especially players who are getting older.
Yeah, no, so I get why he said it. I mean,
for this season, but like in general, like next season, I think it's still a good thing.
Once they get a good rest,
I like it.
I just think that, like what you said, they didn't get enough rest, and it's just dumb. To me, it is. I think it is.
Yeah, but once it's widely accepted and like you're even for it or whatever, and it's
but it was under the
reap what you
special
sow, you know?
the special circumstance of being in the bubble.
It was voted on to have it for this season.
Oh, it was
after
voted
that.
on.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm sure. He didn't plan on getting hurt, and when he was healthy, they was number 2 in the West. So like a half a game back out of first, like they'd have been sitting comfortably.
If they lose tonight, they're gonna be in 7th, and they're gonna have a playing game.
Yeah. Well, it's gonna be a race to the end of the season.
Yeah,
but even the end of their schedule is just not in their favor. Yeah, because they got the Suns still. They got like all the playoff
it's
teams
the Western
in the West.
Conference. Everyone's gonna be tough. Like the Sacramento Kings are beating people and might make a 10th seed.
Yeah, but you're not playing the top seed. Like,
but that
majority of their last couple games are all top seed teams.
It's the same thing with the Heat. The Heat have a hell of a schedule, and they're playing teams that are like the Celtics that are fighting for that same 6th position, so they can have that week off.
The Lakers were doing good without LeBron on there, but they lost Shooter because he had COVID, right?
Yeah, they weren't doing good without LeBron.
They weren't doing bad.
Gotta go check them numbers, boy.
They were like breaking even or something.
They were like 4th or something.
No, they had lost 4 straight. Then they had lost 4 straight.
I think you're talking about without Anthony Davis.
Anthony Davis came back and they still lost. They recently just lost 4 straight.
Yeah, but they were still in 4th when LeBron wasn't hurt and Anthony Davis was hurt.
Yeah,
I think
with LeBron. I thought you said that.
Even when LeBron went out,
when LeBron is Jesus to Phil.
When LeBron went out, the Lakers they had a losing record. Anthony Davis came back, then won a couple, and then they lost 4 more, then they won 1 more. So it was like they still have a losing record without LeBron. Which is why they've dropped.
So what do you think is weaker? Him saying that he doesn't want the playing games anymore, or that's what you were saying? What the thing was, or him saying that he don't think he's ever going to be 100% in his career ever again because of his ankle injury?
I mean,
I agree. I
Zach,
agree
what do you think? No, I want to hear what Zach thinks. Is it pie?
I think the playing game, but like.
Is Pyre.
Yeah, we've all had ankle injuries here.
Yeah.
LeBron, even though I hate him, I can admit he's been a tank throughout his career.
Mm-hmm.
Like, bro, you're gonna bounce back. Calm down.
Steph, I think it's super weak to say that. And like I made that point before. You're about to say.
Yeah.
Steph Curry has bionic ankles now.
Yes.
Like he's injured his ankles the entire. And look at the season he's having.
Yeah.
But but Steph Curry is also not taking the pounding that LeBron is taking.
And don't have wear and tear that LeBron has.
Pause. Yeah. Forgive.
The pounding of being 6'8", 240, 260, to be up that weight and move around, that hurts.
Okay, but you can also be like,
Steph Curry's
you're
like
6'3",
Steph Curry's not
185.
jumping as high as LeBron is, and
but he's getting beat on. He's getting hit. He's getting leaned on. He's getting picked on defense.
Yeah,
he's
but that doesn't necessarily hurt you.
He don't get beat like LeBron. LeBron be getting beat too, G. Let's not.
LeBron be getting foul call, no fouls.
And Steph Curry hasn't done it for 17 years without injury.
Yeah.
Well, I think LeBron will be fine. The nigga needs to stop crying about every goddamn.
I think he'll be fine, but he's just saying like, okay, like it's wearing.
He's having a pity party. He's having a pity party though.
I don't think that's.
If you're the king, you can't have a pity party.
That's not true. You can be honest.
What? You check the facts of history, man.
If you're the self-proclaimed king, but I'm not saying the.
You can.
The king of the jungle. Lions don't have a pity party like that kind of. Not the king like I'm this King Alfred in England. I'm a skinny little white dude. Like, no, I'm talking about, like, if you're saying, hey, I'm the king, this is my league.
You calling LeBron an animal? Wow.
He called himself that. He's crazy. The self-proclaimed king.
But he's not that. He didn't say I was a lion.
Yes, he does. He has a lion on.
Animal.
He has a lion.
I got
on
a lion.
his
I don't say I'm
I think
a lion.
a player.
Okay, but that's different.
You call him an animal, bro. It's white in you.
I think a player that has had his most significant injuries in the last 3 years is coming to grips with time's running out. So you ask him a question, and same injury happened to him in Miami. He was back in 2 weeks. This injury happens in LA when he's 36. He's out for 2 months. He comes back, and he got to go out for another 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That's being honest. What do you think? I'm not going to be 100%. Yeah, it might sound like bitching, but it's the truth.
Yeah.
So I wasn't mad at him.
It's cool, but it's still a pity party.
Nah, I
regardless.
don't think
It's not a pity party.
I think
It's just telling
keeping
the
it a
truth.
buck with yourself. Yeah, it's like I'm not gonna be like he didn't say oh, I'm never gonna He's just like
I'm hurt, dog.
He was like
I'm
I'm
hurt.
gonna be 100%.
Don't ask me if I'm
he
all
said
right.
it so nonchalant, like I'm
Yeah.
just not gonna be 100% again, and kept it moving. All right, bet.
At
We
the
had-
same
think
That's
time,
not how I think you're trying to make it seem a little better than it was. It was kind of like
it wasn't as
more-
somber as y'all making it.
It was a little more somber than you
We've-
were saying for sure.
As I mentioned, we've all had ankle injuries before. Having an injured ankle, it sucks. You re-injure it all the time. But when you're playing, you move exactly the same. Having an injured ankle, unless it's like, okay, 2 weeks later, yes. A year from now, months from now, when you play exactly how you played before. It doesn't slow you down. It doesn't affect your lateral quickness. It doesn't affect your jumping ability. The only thing it affects is like it's in the back of your mind, and
It
you
has
can
for-
re-roll it.
Right, it has for me though, and I think they're also playing at a lot higher
Yeah.
speeds than we
Okay, well for me,
So what are you saying?
I've
You'll
had
never
really
be
bad.
100%?
Huh?
That's the same ankle he hurt too.
Are you
Yeah.
saying you'll never
It's
be
the
at
same
100%, AJ?
I've been past that, but I'm not.
Oh, Roy throwing a pity party.
I would never say that though.
Yeah.
I would never feel like.
Well, for me, the same ankle I've injured, I've played the same. It hasn't affected my playing. It's just like when I drive, maybe I'm a little more cautious because it's like I don't want to land awkwardly and re-injure it.
Yeah.
But I'm not slower. I'm not jumping less high or anything.
Yeah,
because
but
of
we
that.
also know like we put in the standard on LeBron that like Mike and Kobe will have. Like, oh, they would never say that. Well, LeBron's not Mike and Kobe.
Bro.
Thank
And
you.
also-
Thank you. That's
but-
how we
Bro,
can.
Michael
we can
Jordan
change the
came
subject.
out and was bitching about the Pistons beating up on him.
Yeah,
So like they all throw their pity
but
parties.
you know they
They all throw their pity
But
parties.
the
So I
thing
think
is,
we
it's-
give LeBron a lot more flack than we should. Like, and all the good he's doing and all that. It's okay for him to have a moment of weakness and say, hey, look, I'm hurt, dog.
I thought it was honesty.
I'm hurt.
The man has been injury free his whole career, and he re-injured the same ankle that put him out the year before he won a championship.
Yeah.
And it's when your team needs you the most, and you it's another step stopping you from getting closer.
He sounded defeated though.
That's stopping you from getting closer to Jordan. Because a healthy LeBron with this team, even with a hampered AD, you probably still gonna repeat.
Bro, but you got to look at it too. You got to look at the psyche of what it is to be injured, to go a whole career without being injured that much and be able to bounce back, to now something that's nagging you.
And you the champion.
Yeah.
And you getting closer
and
to
you're
Mike.
expected to be that.
Yeah.
That's playing with his psyche. You know what I'm saying? Like, to be like, I know when I was like, I can do anything. Nothing hurt. And when I hurt myself and I was like, fuck, this is not going to be the same. I know that feeling where it's like, you may not see it. You may think, oh, he can still jump. And I know I'm not jumping as high as I used to.
You know.
And I know I'm not moving as quick as I used to. And I know that, but I don't say it not to everybody. But he's on that scale. I don't have to say it to everybody because
He
nobody
didn't have
gives
to say
a
it
fuck. But LeBron has to say things because you see
He's
these.
LeBron.
You're
He
gonna
didn't
notice
he didn't have
it,
to say that.
or he's gonna say it.
He could have said yes, it's still affecting me. He didn't have to say, all right, I'm never gonna be 100% again, and say the things he said. You could be like, yeah, I'm still a
I
little
think
bit hurt.
y'all
I'm
just
playing.
giving it-
I'm
y'all just-
playing
He
through.
gets a lot of hate that you don't.
Yeah.
No,
deserve.
I'm not
I
saying
think
like
you're just
I'm not
being
hating him
honest.
for it. I'm just saying like that. It seemed like a pity party. Like I'm not hating him. Just calling it what it is.
I don't think so. I just think he was being honest
Yeah.
and keeping it a buck. And people don't like it because their favorite superstar when they did it. And I think
Yeah.
that's the reason why
But their
people don't
favorite
like it.
superstar has done it.
I agree. But, everybody's...
Everybody, yeah. It's just,
LeBron say
So
something
like
great.
I would,
LeBron fly.
if anyone did that, I would say that. I'm not just saying this because it's LeBron. Because I'm not a LeBron hater. I like him. I'm not. I'm not like sitting here like Zach. I'm
I've
just
never
trying to
heard
call it
Kobe
what it
say-
is.
I've never heard Kobe fault anything to an injury. But anyways, what y'all think is harder, winning a championship in the NBA or winning a championship in the NFL?
NFL.
Why?
Wait, real quick, let me preface this. So Kendrick Perkins, he was on, what was it, ESPN NBA Tonight, whatever the fuck, and went on a rant with Ryan Clark and a few other people, and said that it was much harder to win a championship in the NBA over the NFL. All right, continue, Phil.
NFL is harder because there's more people on a team, which means there's more chances of error. You only can affect one side of you can only affect one aspect of the game from a player's perspective. And you only get one shot. You can't have a bad game in the biggest game of the year.
Yeah, I agree. I don't even think it's a conversation.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, the fact that Kendrick Perkins was making the points that he was making.
He's a terrible debater. I don't even know why they have him on a debate show.
He really is, bro.
What I would say is that, and like I honestly don't even know which one I would say is harder. It honestly depends on what you value more. Like, in the same breath that you're saying, you can only affect one side of the ball in football. That means that you're taking a break and you're chilling for the other times that you're not on the field. Where in basketball, you're 100% of the time you're either playing offense or defense, and everything you're doing affects the outcome of the game. Every mistake you make affects the outcome of the game.
But that's
you can have like Patrick Mahomes won with their defense got better as the season went on, but he's winning games and like they're winning games in the playoffs just off the strength of his arm, of him throwing the ball wherever.
Mm-hmm.
The defense didn't have to be that great because they got someone who can make up for it.
Yeah.
Where if you're playing basketball, if you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing on defense, it's gonna show, and you're gonna have to make up for it on offense, and it's not stop. The one game and done, like there only being one game you can win or lose, like when it's win or go home. That's also tougher. But if you think about it, if I'm the 8th seed or I'm not the worst team, it's easier for me to get a chance at winning the Super Bowl.
That's true.
Than it is if you're the number 1 seed in the NBA, or if you're the number 1 seed in the NFL. You only have to win 3 games in the NFL if you're the 1 seed.
Yeah.
Whereas you have to win in the NBA, you have to win 16 games, and you have to beat that same team 3 times. People come back from down 3-1. Like you can't. No one's ever out. You know. So I think it's tough. It's really just what you value, and there's more miles. You're putting more. I don't want to say more stress on your body because football is very damaging to your body, but you're playing every other day, and you're playing 7 games, minimum 4, each time you face a team.
Yeah.
I think winning NBA is harder because, like you said, there's so many people on the football field that you can stick somebody in there and not lose a lot if you have a good team. Like, like tackles or a DN, that you can put people in there. Like, if LeBron goes out, the team's tanking. Team's going down. One person affects the whole game. Now, in football, you can replace a piece and you can make by with a corner. If a corner gets hurt, you can make by. But you can then play zone.
You can hide a person easier. Yeah, I agree with you on that,
so but like the Lakers, you're seeing it now. They're tanking because LeBron was out. They're missing their star player. And, saying there's like I said, there's a lot more pieces, a lot more stuff you can put in there to help. But I think it's harder. It's harder to win an NBA championship because if the shots ain't falling, like, you're going to lose that game. No matter how great defense you play, if you can't hit a damn shot to save your life that night, it's not that great.
And also think about the road to a championship. Like, once the season's over, you have basically another mini season in the playoffs. And your team could look completely different on day 1 of the playoffs than it does in the NBA championship if you make it. Yeah. Perfect example was the Warriors. They definitely should have won, but KD was out, Clay was out. I think Steph was hurt for some of the playoff series. Yeah. Their entire team looked way different from when they started than when they finished. There's more chances for there's more chances for injury.
More chances for injury in football. Because it's contact sport.
Yeah. But you have more.
You have more opportunity. You have more opportunity
of change from one person being out.
I think there's more opportunity to be injured in basketball.
And you also
not in basketball, but like in the playoffs in basketball than in the playoffs in football. Like there's a higher. per game, there's a higher chance that you're going to get injured playing football, but there's more games in basketball. So if you're making it to, if you're taking both teams who made it to the championship in both sports, there's more chances for you to be injured playing basketball than there is.
We would have to see the data. I would have to see the
It
data.
depends on the injury, too.
I would say football's more because you can. These niggas is bigger, faster, stronger.
Nah, I think it's way harder to win a championship in football than it is basketball, and I'm a basketball guy. Going off your point, I mean, yeah, you're talking superstars. I mean, if you make the same argument about NFL, if you lose your superstar, you could potentially be fucked. Like if you lose your quarterback, because you're saying LeBron, I mean, he's the distributor, he's the decision maker, he's the scorer, he does everything. If you make the same argument about the Chiefs or the Bucks, you take out Tom Brady.
What about Peyton Manning that season that Broncos won?
Broncos?
Yeah,
he
had a terrible game. But if you don't have Peyton Manning in that game,
was all-time great.
Yeah,
right.
That's what I'm saying.
But
you can rely on the backs of half your team.
Now, in basketball, if you can't score the basketball, you're screwed.
Or if you can't stop the other team from scoring.
Peyton Manning also somewhat managed that game. Like, yeah, he had a terrible game, but I feel like if you have a worse quarterback, they potentially lose that game.
He wasn't the whole playoffs. He wasn't doing that great.
All right, but listen, if you instead of talking about superstars, if we just talk about maybe a less glamorous position, like I mean, now basketball is positionless, but let's say we're talking about the 90s and you lose a power forward whose main job
you lose Dennis Rodman.
Is to defend and rebound. It's not pretty or whatever.
You lose
there's a potential you could still win that game with Jordan and Pippen. If we look at this Super Bowl where Patrick Mahomes loses one of his starting offensive tackles, that man had no time to throw the ball. If you don't have time to throw the ball, you're not you don't, especially if your main targets are Cheetah, Tyreek Hill, and Travis Kelce throwing deep balls. I mean, Kelce, it's a little more intermediate in short passes. You're not going to get that deep ball off.
Right, but also look at this. So if there's more games, right?
Yeah.
In football, obviously you can't because of the physical toll.
Yeah.
But if there's more games, then it's going to be harder for the Bucks to beat the Chiefs that many times.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So it's really just, I feel like it's really just the stance you take.
Yeah.
Like it's probably physically harder to win in the NFL, but I think mentally probably harder in the NBA. If that makes sense.
For
Tactics wise, yes.
For me, and again, this is why I think it's harder in the NFL. In basketball, one player can take over the game on both sides of the ball and do everything. So if you just have one player that's exponentially better than everybody else, i.e. almost like the LeBron and when he won with Kyrie.
Talking to Mike.
LeBron, when he ran with Kyrie, he was just better than everybody else, bigger, stronger, faster. You can't do that in football. Like, no matter how good that one person is on defense, they can double team him. Yeah. They can they can chop block him. They can shell him. They can send blitz at that one person and sag off other weaker dudes. It's just like so many parts that you got to plan for. In basketball, you don't have to do that.
And so, in my opinion, y'all might agree with me, pound for pound, when he's on the field, Lamar Jackson in this day and age is probably the best football player on the field. And right now, Lamar can't get to the big dance because teams scheme for him in that offense. Like, LeBron's still going to do what he wants to do regardless. So how you scheme for him, because he's just bigger, faster, and stronger than everybody else, and does what he wants. But Lamar, like, he could only do so much, even though he's the best player on the field, in my opinion. The same thing
we said about LeBron. They double teamed him a lot, and he had to give up the ball, make him give the ball, get the ball out of his hands, and he becomes.
But he can still get his and get the numbers that he's used to getting. Whereas Lamar, that might not
equate to a win.
Doesn't mean he wins games.
And you also have to depend on special teams. Like, the fact that you can lose on a special teams play, and your best players could be on the sideline, and you have
So you can win on a special teams play too.
That makes
it easier.
That makes it harder for me, bro. That makes.
So I think AJ's point of the one and done. Because I was thinking, like, all right, that's more pressure on like the top seeded teams, but it does.
You get a bye.
Even the playing field for the the bottom seeds. So I mean, that's a good point. I didn't really think of that, but I mean, I still think that pressure of one and done. Because if we play, as soon as niggas are like, all right, let's play rock paper scissors shoe,
Yeah.
the other niggas gonna say best out of 3.
Right.
Because
the best teams usually win, and best is like historically in the NBA, the better teams have always won the championship on a higher percentage. So it's like NFL is harder because now
this is what you should say. The argument should be for in the NFL, if you are, let's say top 3, the third seed, because 1 and 2 are buys, right?
yeah.
1 and 2 are buys, so you already are down 1 game. You don't have to play. But so say you're the third seed and you still have to play all those games and whatever. So if you're a little bit higher, or if you're throughout the season you were a better team, it's going to comparatively it's going to be harder for a better team to win than it is for a better team in the NBA to win. Mm-hmm. But it's going to be a lot easier for the wild cards in the lower 6 teams to win in the NFL because they just got to be good one day.
Yeah.
They don't get tired.
Like
it's just one game.
Right.
But then, so keeping it all basketball, is it easier to win the NCAA tournament or is it easy to win the NBA Finals? It's easier to win the NBA Finals, correct?
But the same point I was making, it depends on where you are.
Yeah.
It depends on if you're a really good team and you've earned, all right, I'm gonna get this top spot, because there's no buys in basketball. Like one still has to play 8, just like the believe team Golden State Warriors beat the Dallas Mavericks. You still got to play. There's no buys, but I think it's easier for the bottom teams in the playoffs in the NFL to win a championship than it is for the bottom teams in the NBA to win a championship.
I think it's just
in the playoffs.
2 different sports,
it's
hard to make a comparison.
This is what you look at, yeah. Because
again, for me,
there's a lot that goes into basketball. We think it looks easy, but it's actually hard.
Just the simple fact of one and done is so much pressure. Like me just asking the question of NBA and NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
Like a lot of times, it's very rare that we have all the number 1 seeds make it to the Final Four.
But NCAA is different too because you still play a ton of games.
Yeah.
You can't compare that to the NFL because you're playing 4 games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you play 4 games.
They're still one and done.
You also play 4 games in the elements. So you could literally be playing in like a blizzard, and then the next week you're playing in fucking Arizona.
Yeah,
that's tough on your body as well. Like that's hard.
Okay, sure.
That's not hard.
No, I'm not saying it's not, but
sure.
the Super Bowl is always played in somewhere where it's going to have
the
good
Super Bowl's
weather.
indoors,
Like,
but the road to
that's the championship.
But the road to the championship, you play in the elements.
There's
But
hella domes. There's hella domes now,
right?
But so if you, I mean, yes, you
there's
can.
not. I mean, I wouldn't say there's hella domes. Because
half the teams have domes basically now.
Let's see. One team in the NFC East has a dome, and that's the Cowboys.
Maybe not. I don't know.
New Orleans has a dome.
Domes are good weather.
Minnesota has a dome.
Falcons.
Atlanta, Las Vegas.
It's not. It's like maybe.
But then you have L.A.
Arizona,
L.A.
L.A.
They don't have a dome, but you're playing in good weather in L.A. You're playing in good weather in San Francisco. You're playing.
No, the Chargers have a dome.
Wesley Smack.
Oh, Chargers! I didn't even know they had their own stadium yet.
Yeah, the Chargers have a dome.
Did you also play in Buffalo, New York?
That's
Giants, Philadelphia,
Green Bay.
Washington, Green Bay. Like it varies. But in the playoffs, they're in the winter.
Yeah.
So generally, if it's outdoors, it's an outdoors game, you're going to be playing in the weather, like freezing temperatures.
I'm sticking to, if in the NFL it's easier to win a championship if you are 4 to 6 or 10 teams make it to the playoffs
For
in the
the
NFL?
NFL,
Or is it
I think it's
18?
Yeah.
Because there's 32 and then there's 2 people get a bye.
Good
32
shot.
teams. 2 people get a bye, and then the wild card.
I think it's 16.
Maybe it's 16.
Yeah,
I don't know.
16.
But no, 16 would be everyone plays. No, everyone plays because in the NBA there's 16.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know.
But either way, if you're a lower seeded, if you're a wild card team, or you have to play like the first week and you don't get a bye, I think it's easier for you to win. Or like on the lower end, I think it's easier for you to win a championship than if you are a lower team in the NBA.
Yeah.
And I think it's probably easier in some aspects if you're in the NBA and you're a top seed because you have more chances to. If you're the better team, it's going to show over more time, as long as you don't get hurt. And you have to play 16 games, win 16 games, max of what? What's 7 times 4 rounds? 28. 28. Max of 28 games or something they possibly played.
I don't know. For me, as we've said several times, if you have a really good player, one of the best players, they can carry you. And we also haven't talked about coaching. Coaching in football matters way more than coaching in basketball does. Like, I don't know how people feel about Steve Kerr. I think he's a good coach, or Eric Spoelstra. But, I mean, you can sit and fucking draw pictures on your clipboard and not draw up actual plays and have your best player do what they do and win a championship.
From 30.
Yeah.
You can't draw that up.
Yeah. Whereas in football, you legit
There's coaches for everything.
need to coach a hell of a game, or you will get out-coached.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on, but I think it's still easier.
I mean, I don't even know where I stand on which was easier. I'm just trying to make points for both. But getting 200 people to a championship, that's tough. But at the same time, when you have 200 people, like Brandon's saying, you can
exchange
you can plug people in, and also you have less responsibility, like as an individual, and as like even as an individual, but then as offense, you're responsible for offense. You're not responsible for defense. Defense is responsible for that. And special teams is responsible for special teams. So there's compartmentalized responsibility in
you can win in more ways
accountability.
than one.
Right.
But see,
you can win only by having a good defense.
You can win.
Not
your
always.
special team is on and pop, and you run it back.
The thing is, defense wins championships.
But
if you have a good defense in football,
bro, the Broncos proved that defense.
They often scored enough.
Bro,
but their defense had to stop them so they didn't score more.
The lowest scoring Super Bowl, what was it, 9-6?
I don't know.
Because I'm telling you.
I mean, I played football for 4 years, and then I never played basketball, but I was a manager, so I traveled with the team. And we actually won a tournament, though. So, like, being in an environment and, like, seeing two teams.
What tournament?
My 8th grade team was pretty good.
Bro, being a manager on an 8th grade team is fucking hilarious.
Bro, you play 12 games a year in middle school.
My 8th grade team was pretty good. But my point being is like when you
yo, honestly, Zach, I'm sorry that you're on the same side of Phil. Because he's just making it look very like he's Kendrick Perkins.
No, right now I think Phil's making good points, but I don't know. For me, you can't convince me otherwise.
Same.
Yeah.
And I played 2 years of actual tackle football. I've played my whole life playing basketball. Of course, my favorite sports team, the Miami Hurricanes. Like, I like watching the football side way more than anything else. But for me, the football, everything needs to click. Basketball, you can have one guy on. Football, you cannot do that.
No.
In football, everything needs to click.
Bro, the Patriots won by scoring 9 points, 3 field goals. Or whatever it was. I don't know. I just know it was very low scoring.
Okay, so everything on the defensive side clearly was clicking.
Right. That's
Yeah.
only one
Right,
part. That's
you
only one
said
part of
the
the
whole
game.
thing.
That's
Okay.
only one part of the game. Not everything has to click. That's the point we're trying to make.
But on the other
on
side
basketball, everything has to click.
Yes.
Because you're playing both sides constantly. You can't go for and out. You can't go for and out on offense. And like you can go for it on offense. Sit down, read like, all right, we need to change the scheme, or we need to do something. You can do something different in basketball too, but you have a time where you don't even have to worry about what's going on in the field. You just got to take care of your part. That's the compartmentalizing part is where like I think it's
But everyone on that unit needs to click.
Yeah.
Like in basketball, you can have like they showed the stats, like the weird stats today. I don't know if any of those were playoff games. But you can have a nigga go play 48 minutes and score, like have a terrible game, but all other 4 niggas are doing a great job. In football, if you have one cornerback that is not doing their job,
they're gonna eat
him alive, and he's gonna be a liability.
You can't switch.
But okay, there may be some weird stats, but you cannot score, not get a rebound, not get a steal, but play amazing defense on somebody, or just be a pester to them.
Yeah.
Like there's
like,
Dennis Rodman would just
about
not score. He would not get any steals, but he would play amazing defense and rebound the basketball. That was all he had to do.
Yeah.
That was his only job. What I'm here for, rebound and play defense. That's it.
Yeah.
But the point you're making is kind of like one player can be bad and the 4 other players can play well.
Yeah.
And they can win a championship.
Mm-hmm.
Just like you can have no offense in a game
And you're special.
and you
teams
could win
wins.
the Super Bowl off of field goals.
Yeah. That's true.
There's more ways to win in football
if-
than basketball.
There's more.
Because you need.
Wait, say that. There's
More ways to win in football than there is
Okay.
in basketball.
Yeah.
You can win from your defense. You can win from special teams. You can win from offense only.
Yeah.
There's more than one ways to win. Now, you have to defend. The same people have to defend. Then they have to score. And they have to do everything.
There's limited timeouts for.
And if
there's limited timeouts in
and
the
if
NFL.
one person
but
goes
So
down,
I will say
the next
this.
person that football, you have a better rate of putting another part in there and it working.
Yeah.
And it being just enough suffice to get you to go on.
So I will
now,
say
LeBron goes down. Oh man, you screwed. Let's just say not even LeBron. We don't say LeBron. Let's say one of the
Klay Thompson.
yeah. We can say like Kyle Kuzma, even though people talk about him or whatever. He's still pivotal part of that team.
Yeah.
He goes down, and who's replacing him? Dennis Schroeder goes down. Who's replacing him?
Listen, I will say this.
It messes the chemistry all the way up.
Playing the game of football is way easier than, in my opinion, than playing the game of basketball. If you do your job, it's simple. Like as receiver, run your route, catch the ball, simple. Basketball, there's so much more elements, as y'all are saying. But when it comes to actually winning the championship in football, to me, and I'll leave it at this, is way harder than basketball.
And I will say I 100% agree with you.
Playing the game, basketball, way harder. Winning a championship, way easier, in my opinion. In the NBA, where everything is a 7-game series. NCAA tournament, different case.
I already said my stance. So.
Yeah, I said my stance already.
All
I
right,
feel
cool.
like there's more than one way to win.
I think that was some good, healthy debate. Phil, I'm glad.
Way better than what was on ESPN.
Yeah. I'm glad I finally got to be on your side a couple of times today, Phil.
Feels good, right?
Yeah.
Feels good to be on this side, man.
No,
I
wouldn't say that. It feel good.
All right, it's been another
Wait, don't we have something else on there? Or no,
Is
that was
there?
it.
I think so.
I thought I had one more thing,
Maybe.
but I may have taken it off.
I think Big Mike gonna be our special guest next week.
Oh no, big. Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I was gonna ask, where do you guys think Rodgers is gonna go? Aaron Rodgers, or like where would you want to see him go?
Well, so I said it in our group chat. I would like to see him and can see him going to the Raiders. I think the Raiders would be a great fit with him, for him. With John Gruden.
Who do you have receiver wise though? Like
Henry
Ruggs.
That's all I know.
And then what's that dude?
They have Darren Waller at tight end.
Darren Waller. That'd be nice. But they had some? I don't know who they have honestly.
They had didn't they
From the
have they had
Chargers?
Art Aguilar. He might still be on the team.
Yeah, he is. Fuck Aguilar.
I would really like him to go to
Please put that video of Aguilar, the dude talking about Aguilar.
catching babies.
Unlike Aguilar.
I'd want him to go to I think the Browns. So.
The Browns would be lit, but I kind of want Baker to stay there. Like if Aaron
Really?
Rodgers went to the Browns, they got to be a Super Bowl favorite.
They have to be because they
Got weapons.
they have weapons at every position,
And their
right?
defense is solid.
But as the Browns, it's like, do we want to win one right now?
Nah, you can get two.
Maybe
you can get
two.
You can get two
You
or
can get
three
two.
out of
Or
Aaron
could we
Rodgers.
potentially
Wasn't he just
get?
MVP?
I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
I think
yeah.
I think the premium. I think the premium of Aaron Rodgers over Baker Mayfield is so much higher,
Yeah,
and
and you haven't won.
and he's not a head. Not that Baker Mayfield's a head case, but I think he's a hothead,
Yeah.
and I think you can get in his head and affect him more than you can Aaron Rodgers. I think that
If you bring Rodgers in, he can be a good mentor.
Bruh.
right. And the thing is, I think if you can give them Baker Mayfield and probably a couple first round picks, and they might be like, okay, we can do that instead of him just not playing for us
ship
at all.
out Baker? Damn.
Also,
Yeah, because
you
you
had to kind of
More Baker Mayfields are available than Aaron Rodgers.
Yes.
And your franchise haven't won since probably the 60s.
right.
You
Would you
leverage.
rather be like, yo, I can win one now, or like
You always win one
maybe
now.
we will win one? Like,
Yeah.
do you want a 90% chance of winning when you have Aaron Rodgers with OBJ,
true.
I do
Landry?
it in a heartbeat.
Who else is their tight
Odell
ends? They got
Beckham becoming
Njoku
back.
and who else?
They got Nick Chubb. They got
Nick
boy
Chubb.
Kareem Hunt.
Their defense is thick.
Yes, but you always
They
win
got
now.
Clowney. They got Garrett. Like taking
Football,
now.
you win now because
your
your
injury rate is so
if it's-
high.
if it's-
your fans can live on
Not
that
even
forever.
that. Not even
Yeah.
that. If it's harder to win in the football, win the Super Bowl in football, or win the championship in football, you got to try to take every advantage to win immediately.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. That's true. I think I was gonna say Atlanta. Well, actually, the Saints would be nice.
Saints would be a good.
I think
place
people
to-
seeing the Saints too.
especially with them losing Breeze.
He'd probably win one.
You said what?
I think he'd win one if he went to the Saints. 'Cause they
Yeah.
got OD weapons too.
Yeah.
He just got to go somewhere where he got weapons.
Right,
that
but I
Green Bay
think-
didn't give him.
Yeah, I don't know if not that they don't have enough to trade for Aaron Rodgers, but I don't know if the Saints have enough to trade for Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Really, where like Cleveland could lose a few pieces and still be lit.
Yeah.
There was somewhere else that I thought was good,
Minnesota
but-
would be, but I don't think he'd want to stay in
Minnesota.
the division. But Minnesota would be lit.
Why not?
Nah,
he
he
would
can't go to he can't go to
'Cause that's how
Minnesota
Brett Favre did.
went to Minnesota.
and it'd be the
Yeah.
same like
Yeah.
You can't follow in Brett Favre's footsteps.
Yeah.
And then Brett Favre
Yeah.
almost actually went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
He's one bad play away from going to the Super Bowl. You
Yeah.
can't do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
why can't you do that? That'd be the biggest slap in the face to the Packers.
If he went,
That'd be the best way to do it.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
and have him play Purple Rain in the Super Bowl.
Broncos have been another.
Oh
team
yeah,
that
Broncos
I've
would be
heard about.
good. As long as they don't have to give up Judy, that would be lit.
Yeah.
Cause he's gonna need like,
What?
if Judy goes, then they have Cortland Sutton and like it's gonna be a downgrade on offense from
But they got pretty good tight
Devontae
ends.
Adams.
They got pretty good tight ends, so. But I don't know. Wherever Rodgers ends up, that team definitely gonna come up and is gonna become an instant. Because I don't think he'll go to a team that doesn't already have weapons and isn't a potential playoff team. So whoever he goes to will definitely become a Super Bowl favorite, I guess. But
Yeah.
that's all I got.
I just want to say one thing. Go listen to Pixel Bath by John Dawson. It's a lit album. Came out in
Wait.
2020.
Wait, so
It
wait,
was
hold
super
on.
lit.
One player can affect your chances of winning the Super Bowl.
A quarterback, yes.
Oh, okay. Just getting one player.
A quarterback, yes. And even so, it's not guaranteed. That's why I was saying I don't think he'll go to.
They'll be a favorite though.
You smell that? You smell that, AJ?
I mean, Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is arguably a top 3 quarterback in
Right,
the,
yeah.
the
If
league
it-
right
in
now.
the NBA,
what you doing with your hands?
You guys
there?
were saying that one player can affect the ability to win a championship.
Yeah.
You legit like they're favorites. You're betting.
No,
Their odds go
because-
up.
No, that one player makes your whole team better.
Yeah.
Like your defense gets
Yeah.
better because you're. So it's.
That's the same argument
And
you were saying
there we
about
have
you were
it.
saying about a team getting LeBron in the NBA.
They're
But
tightly
they-
wound little
The
bull
And there's
crap.
and there's
Feels good on
and
the
there's
side,
like
right?
five
That-
quarterbacks. that you can-
My
there- no,
biggest-
There's like 5 quarterbacks you could say that about in the league. There's not
Yeah.
5. Maybe there's 5 players in the NBA, but
My biggest thing is
I don't know.
the one game, the one and done.
Yeah.
That was my biggest argument.
all right, you guys made that a point, so I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
Thanks for
So
being
you
on my
guys,
side.
you guys,
Yeah. All right, it's
Points
been
are
another
dwindling.
episode of Save It for the Pod, episode number 27. Phil, hit the drop. Peace.
Hey, Big Mike.
Got
Zach, say what up.
Evil Kermit over here.
Zach said he ordered his cocktail today.